Let's see. Everything's having a hard time connecting. There it goes. There it goes. All right, we're back. Late. Huh. Interesting day. Hey, how's everybody doing? Wait. There we go. There it is. Story time part 2. Pretty much. We got. Let's see. What is this? Let me know. Ah! No, not that. There's that. Why am I not finding it? You know what? Because I'm in the wrong scene. That's fine. Throw it all over here. So let's just throw this on real quick. Hi. If you're already listening to this as a podcast, please listen to it on Spreaker. That's the link above. Or you can just go to Spreaker and look up the show name, and you'll be able to find me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That thing right there. Okay, cool. All right. Hi, this is Daniel. Wrong one with Semper Fi. Wrong one. I was just trying to do this. There we go. That right there goes through there. 10% off till July 2nd. And yeah, I'll be doing lots and lots of sauce making for the next few days. So I'm not sure what my schedule will be like for this, but I'll try to do stuff until I go on the road. I just was informed, and I'm all excited now because I have something to watch while I'm or listen to while I'm on the elliptical tonight. I'm trying to, without the phone, I can't really read, so that kind of sucks a little bit. But what do you know? There is a Asha Logos on Odyssey, and I believe it was, what's his name? Genuine Goy said Asha Logos video is available on Odyssey. So I was speaking earlier about how it was irritating that they had taken down 5 of his videos in his series, and I didn't know which ones were missing, and I don't know if I had seen them because I first started watching them a few years ago, whether or not I caught them before they took them down or not, and I don't remember. So this is it. He doesn't have any playlists made, so they're all kind of scattered, and some of them aren't numbered. So you have to look at the actual screen itself. Like that says 8.3. And then you see 8.2 is here, 8.1. The one that is about, if I remember correctly, the 2 French Revolution ones, regardless of whether or not they're part of the series, they're both very, very freaking good. But I thought they were part of the series. And then you see 7 is over here, which is Alexander the Great, Lion Amongst Men. Like we could go through all of these, honestly, and it wouldn't be a waste of our time. I did share with you the Hussars one before, how the winged Hussar saved Europe, the 1683 siege of Vienna, and the birth of a legend. But some of these don't look familiar. So apart from his actual playlist called Our Subverted History on YouTube, that's what the playlist is called, and that's what I believe it says Our Subverted History right there. Every time I put my finger over the top of it, though, you don't see it. But the interconnectedness of the Aryan peoples, part 8.2, the Royal Araya. Now, as I had mentioned before, when you take the N off, it's not a misspelling. All right, so there you go. You can find them. This one's very interesting too. Underground dungeons, murdered demonic visions, and the death of the Roman Empire with Justinius, I think it was. Justinian, whatever. But yeah, a lot of these don't look familiar. The series look, I'm pretty sure I saw them, but I'm not sure. Let me scroll all the way down. Very cool stuff. Where does it start, though? First one is the importance of pulling back or pulling out? Pulling back. Got it. So I'm thinking there was an introduction window. I thought maybe not. This is part 1 right here. Yeah, no, that's it. This is it because it was shorter. 38 minutes of subverted history. Very good stuff. And if you're looking for a good list of books, just listen to his presentations and then go find those books, as I did, and read them. That's how I found Ellie Waddell. I'm pretty sure it was Waddell. I don't even think he actually covered anything that Waddell wrote about. I think he just mentioned it, and I went on. I could be wrong about that. It's been a while. Let's pull up FTJ. Boom. Come on. Get there. I think he just mentioned it. And oh, Irvat's there. Okay, let me see. Pull this out. Open a new tab. Bing. Get rid of that auto scroll irritation. Hello. Heil, everyone, said Irvat. Poor lost souls are still cruising on that cruise site. Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's kind of, it's funny because I had asked that question because somebody had said some things in there and they seemed like they were decent people. I'm like, is there any mods even left over here? Because and I let them know. I was like, pretty much everybody's gone to either FTJ or Rumble or both since I began there. That would show up for my shows. And I was like, yeah, if there's not a mod, I'll VIP myself or whatever. So I'm not sure how much longer. I'm at 241 over there right now, but it's like, you know what I mean? 300 is like the mark for, oh, now you get to be monetized. It's like, okay, great, but what is that going to amount to on it anyway? And still, we're looking at, 241, 59 more to go. And it just kind of seems like, but why? If he just went live, why is he not showing up here? He's not live. It's just an old video. It's an old message. All right. So here we are. There we be.
Really?
Whoops.
Or 120 pounds. I also have...
Let's see. We went to... Where am I looking? This is supposed to just stop. There it goes. Messages. Blink. Let's start off a little fun here.
I look at the EBT community. Let's take a guess at what cruise line these EBT members are on.
Could you imagine going on a cruise and having this? Could you imagine being on a cruise and having that? Seeing that? There's a never-ending 24/7 all-you-can-eat buffet. And yeah, I bet you they have grape soda. They look like little kids fighting.
You think Disney? Me neither. What about Norwegian? No. An Alaskan cruise? No. One of them cheap-ass cruises off of Carnival? EBT.
When I went in 2004, I think it was a Carnival cruise. I'm pretty sure. Went to Puerto Rico, I guess, to visit where all of our money goes before it gets handed to the IMF. And then St. Martin and St. Thomas were the other two stops. And St. Thomas was, apart from the trash all over the sides of the road, it was a cool place.
Behavior. I'm trying to tell y'all, these people do not know how to behave. Kat, come here. You can be in this video, Catherine. What cruise line do you not want to go on?
Carnival.
Why don't you want to go on Carnival?
Because that's where all the ghetto people are at.
Yeah, me neither. All right, skedaddle.
So they had like a poop cruise or something. Like the water and stuff. If they were on a cruise, like the lights went out and stuff. And Carnival is like the worst cruise ship in the world.
Yeah, we
Every
shouldn't
time
go
we
on
see,
Carnival.
when I went on Margaritaville, we saw the Carnival and we were like, whoa.
Yeah, I'd be the same way. So we're not going on a Carnival cruise or something?
Yeah, no.
Okay. No Carnival.
I think
I'd look at the EBT committee.
That went a little too long.
Did this guy's uncle steal nuclear material from the United States and give it to Israel? You might know Ben Shapiro.
That's not acting. That's what a Jew is. He probably heard that a bunch of babies just got ground into dog food for Israeli puppies.
The Israeli propagandist posing as an American political commentator. But do you know his
And he's a fat fuck.
equally treacherous uncle, Zalman Shapiro? A man who stole hundreds of pounds of weapons-grade uranium from the United States and smuggled it to Israel for a
They say steal and smuggle as if it's not the same entity. Well, on paper, it's not. But yeah, okay.
nuclear program Israel still refuses to admit exists. This is a family deeply...
Maybe the guy was just collecting uranium. Some people collect rocks. Some people collect baseball cards or Pokemon, Masters of the Universe figures, comics.
invested in extracting American wealth, loyalty, and secrets for Israel. Ben Shapiro himself is now very close to President Trump. A relationship...
Oh, and here he is getting the Dybbuk, which is a disembodied evil spirit of Rabbi Schneerson, crammed up his asshole while he's wearing a small hat. If your president's doing this, that's the last time he should be called president. Period. The end.
that only truly developed after Trump started pushing back on the release of the Epstein files, calling them a hoax despite many believing they were part of a Mossad blackmail operation, and after Trump reversed course and began pushing hard for a war with Iran, falling squarely in line with Israel's interests. Ben Shapiro now stands at Donald Trump's side, where he can continue the family tradition of putting Israel's interest before American interests, and ensuring that the United States will continue to fight Israel's wars. Did this guy's uncle...
He has fucking big ass eyebrows. It's disgusting.
I'm Big T, and I love veterans. So here's some of my favorite veteran memorials that make absolutely no sense. Yeah, let's get some mermen riding seahorses for the Confederacy in Texas. Make it make sense. Let's get into it. This Littlefield was a rich Renaissance man, huh? But they didn't want to honor the Confederacy because it was toxic division between the North and the South. What was that about? Oh, the people who wrote the history used to have people who did the work for them. So these are the people we're believing. They seem like good guys. Just making other humans do the work for them? Why would they lie? This one's great. Nothing screams Newark, New Jersey. War memorial, like open-toe sandals, naked Roman soldier. Shout out to World War I. It's the inconsistencies that always get me. Like, this guy looks like one of those people that are in those books that you guys opened in school, because I never opened a book, right? Why wouldn't he look like a Roman soldier or a merman or something? Nothing screams Confederacy like Roman dude getting pulled by two tigers in Philadelphia. All I know is Galusha Pennypacker is looking down from heaven saying, thank God they got those roaring tigers in. I was a big mythology guy. When we were fighting the wars, I can't wait to get home and read my unicorn book. Shout out Galusha Pennypacker. Legend. Oh, this one's great. Shout out to the Confederacy again. Roman soldier in the middle of Staten Island. So a nice Confederate Roman statue in the middle of Staten Island, built by the Roman Bronze Works. Even if that's a real company, the simulation or life, come on, man. There's too many air quotes coincidences. Again, they had a chance to do Roman soldier, but they choose traditional? I asked AI why all the Roman and Greek stuff. They said they chose the classical style to get away from the European monarchs.
What?
Gotcha. Little update. You're dealing with royalty. I'm born in Kings County, Brooklyn, and I live in Queens. Hey, thought we were getting away from the monarchy. Come on, man. They lie today. What year did they start? Greatest country in the world does moon drive-bys? Come on, man. You're happy with the crumbling infrastructure? All the money going whatever? Insert any country overseas, not name America or taxpayers? You guys are silly, man. Sound off. Am I nuts? Am I reaching for these Roman soldiers for Confederate veterans? Make it make sense. Sound off in the comments. Because you know they'd be lying already. What year did they start? Make it make sense.
About 1850s. Yeah. Probably before that. Well, once they got a hold of everything, then they go back as far as they want. Oh, you suck. That wasn't that important anyway. It's just, Alaska, 2 a.m., sunny out. That's pretty much the whole story. And you're right, he walks his dog.
Good. Mississippi man fired after calling cops on dad who took daughters to the women's restroom.
There is a man with his 2 little girls using...
This guy is such an asshole, barking. I don't know why that woman's standing in there. He's took the little girl. Would you take your little... You have kids. You know this. You're not going to let them go into the bathroom by themselves and touch things, and you don't know who's in there. So you're going to do a look through first. And then if it's clear and you have little ones or little girls like he has, you take them in, they do their thing. You make sure they don't touch very many things. You make them wash their hands, and then you leave. That's how parents operate. This guy is losing his fucking shit over it, barking the whole fucking time, traumatizing the 2 little girls, and the dad's got to go to the gym. He's got to get a little bit of meat on those arms. He's got to be able, unless he can throw them really fast. Some people can, because he's gonna have to start lighting people up when they talk around his children like this.
the women's bathroom.
Sir, this is a gas station. Why are you shouting?
He is. He's washing his hands with his dog.
And look at this troll woman here. Why is she just sitting there watching? This poor little kid.
Right now. He is leaving us.
Let me guess, you were the tattletale in school, weren't you?
All right, baby.
Sir, I don't think
He's got a cross on his shirt. He's got the New York hat on. I like him already, and he's doing what he's got to do. But you know, he's not escalating at all because he doesn't want to add to the trauma. But at the same time, you as a dad, you got to ask yourself: do you stand firm and show that you're in charge of in every situation when it comes to your children, so that the children don't feel threatened by some other people? Or do you scale it back and talk to them after? It's a tough decision, because if they see you shine in a moment where they were scared, they won't be scared again the next time some asshole tries to run their mouth. You know what I mean? Dad's got this type of deal.
it's morally righteous of you to scare kids.
She is waiting to use the restroom with her mother,
She's waiting to use the restroom, or he's waiting, whoever the fuck.
who is very ill.
Now, if he took them into the ladies' room, that might be a little weird. But if there's men in the men's room, then yeah, you would do that. He would just, you know what I mean? I don't know. I wouldn't go personally. I wouldn't go into the opposite. If it's a unisex or both, then you will go into whatever the hell you got to go into. And a lot of places are like that now. It just says yes, both. You know, if it's a bigger place, they typically have a family bathroom. Like a truck stop gas stations typically have like a one that's for family, bigger area for you to, do diaper changes and stuff like that and have extra room.
It's okay.
How oblivious do you have to be not to be aware of your surroundings and what damage you're causing, my guy?
Some men are just immature. And he's refusing. He's taking his sweet time.
Yeah, he's allowed to take his sweet time because he's dealing with 4- and 5-year-old kids.
I have 2 girls washing their hands. You let this lady, this woman is a mother. She's a woman. She can bring your daughters in here. She's a manager of the QT.
Oh, so the reason why the reason why that woman's standing there isn't because she has to use the bathroom. It's not because we don't know if it's a girl's room or not. But she's standing there because she could have brought them in. You gonna let a fucking stranger handle that? You think they're gonna have the same care to make sure that they get taken care of properly? There's a whole ritual that goes along with your children when it comes to certain things with bathrooms, whatever. Sometimes some kids only use wet wipes all the way up until whatever because they're useful, especially when you're in a public bathroom. You don't want to touch the toilet paper that somebody else made smelly because of the air particles from their own shit. Maybe you want to use a wet wipe. Maybe you don't want to have to explain that to a freaking other person that you just met because you're trying to let your kids go to bed. They shouldn't be involved anyway. Why would we normalize letting strangers because, oh, they're the right sex, go take your daughters into the different bathroom, whatever. Fuck all that. Parents are allowed to be parents, and the system or the society needs to shut the fuck up and understand that because they should have already understood that.
It's an okay suggestion, my guy. That's not a reason why to be shouting in the bathroom and scaring kids. And if he doesn't trust the random manager at the store or gas station, then he has a right to accompany his daughter in the bathroom.
I'm their dad. Sir, I understand. And you don't have any business. We gotta go to the women's bathroom.
Bro, you've officially watched too much Fox News.
They're girls. They go to the women's bathroom.
Absolutely. It's ultimately the father's choice. If the father thinks that it would be better for him to take the little girls to the men's bathroom instead of the women's, that's his choice. If he wants to take them to the women's bathroom, it's his choice. What I trust the...
See, but the walk-in aspect, if you can't lock the door, and obviously you can't, are you a guy that goes into the women's bathroom, or do you just take, like I said, a wet wipe going into the men's room? They have toilets too, and not just standing ones. And you wipe down the seat like a mofo. You put the little paper thing on, and you put your that would be more logical to me personally. I think that would be better. But yeah, again, you don't want men walking in. It's the same deal. But they're behind the door, and you're in the door with them. So maybe whatever. It is what it is.
Father to make the right decision on how he wants to make sure his children are safe. Sometimes they're safer in the woman's bathroom. Sometimes they could be safer in the men's bathroom where he will supervise them. But it's his choice. He's not a fucking creep. You are the creep for looking at little girls in the women's bathroom that a father is taking care of. He's not creepy at all, okay? Get that through your thick skull, my guy.
This is ridiculous, man.
Look at this fucking cunt. Look at this fucking cunt. She shuts the door, leans on it. She's this fucking troll. She cuts her own hair. You can tell it's all universally same.
That's okay. Some men are just...
Let's make a list of it. You're distressing two little girls, you're inconveniencing the manager, and you're making the father very uncomfortable. Do you not see how you are the problem here?
Lacey might be nice. Maybe she just has a resting, wrinkly bitch face, but maybe she wasn't that bad. I don't know.
You can video me, okay? And you got
Don't
a
put
shirt
your hands on me.
Yeah, well, stop videoing me.
Yeah, he just put his hands on me.
I touched you. I brushed you on this shirt.
My guy, now you're grabbing his shirt in front of his little girls. My guy, you've officially lost. It's over. All this for a retarded culture war which nobody asked for because you lack nuance on what is okay and what is proper etiquette in the bathroom.
I bet you he's childless, or somebody else handled it, or he was an absentee dad. That old fuck.
Good.
Mississippi man fired after call. So was he? That woman was the manager. So what the fuck was he that he got fired from? Good. Either way, just a really weird situation.
They just pulled up.
We already know about Condor. We've known about Condor, pan tilt zooms, and they also have audio. Yeah, that's correct. So every place and everywhere you go, someone's listening, someone's watching. So we already know about this. We followed the Ben Jordan stuff. We followed the 404 media stuff. We know. We've gone over this an awful lot, but here we go again.
One of the biggest tricks of the last decade, and most people are falling for it. Most people don't realize that Flock Safety also makes a camera called the Condor, where their own product page says it can automatically detect a person and follow their movements.
Remember when they were showing the guy with this? They were so curious that Flock camera by itself, apparently, without. We're not supposed to believe that there's a bunch of 8,200 people behind those cameras, each and every one of them, that are making decisions as to what they zoom in on. And there was a guy who was rollerblading in the one video, and then he stopped to watch videos on rollerblading, probably try to learn technique, do the spin stops and stuff like that. So he's looking at it, and the camera zooms in on his phone. Just checking to make sure you weren't watching porn, or I don't know, checking to see if I could get a glimpse of your family photos. You know, it's like, what is that? You know what I noticed recently too? You guys know Chuck E. Cheese, right? There's certain rides at Chuck E. Cheese, and they've gone straight to hell since I was a little kid. They used to have ball pits. They got rid of all those. Ball pits are fun. You know, if you have an asshole kid who likes to piss and shit in there or whatever, then maybe you need to be a better parent. But yeah, sure, ruin it for everybody because lowlives exist. Anyway, they had better pizza back then. You could get cool little tokens and put them in the machines. They had actual arcade games, like a decent amount of them. They were fun. I used to love arcade games, and it was so cool. And even though we didn't have like newer ones, when we owned our restaurant, and for that time, like a couple years into owning the restaurant, that we had the arcades. Oh man, it was so much fun. Punch Out was my favorite game all the time. But when we actually had our own, man, I played it a lot. Great fighting, George! You're an up and coming boxer. Oh, what a great thing. And then Moon Patrol was another one that we had. A couple old ones. Grand Prix, I remember that was up there. Whatever. Anyway, they had all kinds of better stuff to do, and like a whole section of arcade stuff and air hockey, of course. Then they got this little tiny air hockey table. It's just skee ball again. Skee ball is awesome when everything works, and I don't know if it's the children that are retarded or if it's the people that work there that can't figure out how to maintain 4 rows of equal amount of wooden balls. Whatever. When you sit on some of these rides, they now take color photos of you. And I'm looking back to 2018. That would make my daughter 2 years old at the time. And well, yeah, 2. Yeah. It should be about 2. They have a little URL line on them. It's the first time I noticed it because I see the date and then I see that it's like get pictures at blah blah blah. So you're telling me you're not just taking a picture while she's on the ride and everybody smiles. No, you're keeping a database of all the children that sit on that ride. Knowing what we know about this fucking society, does anybody find that a little unsettling? A little creepy? Like a demonic scumbag's catalog, Sears catalog, could be put together with shit like that. Your Facebook and your Instagram account, when they say, yeah, bring me that one. Oh, how would they do that these days? I don't know. Maybe with Flock. They'd be able to track you, wherever the fuck you go, know when you turn your back for a half a second. These little fucking weasels live in tunnels as it is, come up, snatch your kid, and then go right back down underground. Why the fuck are we living in a world like this?
Investigative TV asked Flock's communications chief Josh Thomas about the camera. He denied it and said the company does not track people. So a reporter walked to one and it followed him in real time. And in Flock's training webinars, the instructor tells the police the camera will, quote, acquire and track a person as they walk. And it doesn't seem like Flock has their stuff together at all.
Ben.
YouTuber Ben Jordan found over 60 of these cameras.
He's more than just a YouTuber there, kid.
streaming to the open internet with no password, where he was able to view people alone walking. It seems like Flock just wants us to think that they're building license plate readers, but with almost 100,000 cameras, they seem like they're just building the next layer of the surveillance state. Flock does not sell to us directly, but they do sell to your city. So the only thing that can stop this is enough Americans knowing what Flock is.
Oh, and by the way, they also manage the metadata, meaning the video and audio for cameras that aren't made by Flock. So you buy cameras for, I don't know, your gymnasium, your daycare center, your gymnastics, and Flock can make that available to anybody without a password as well. And they collect the data, they organize it kind of like Palantir does, and they can make it available to whomever. We don't know. We don't know where that's going. Any little thing that you don't comply with in the upcoming world, once they start wanting, they start allowing us to know what their intent is. Not that we don't already know, but compliance will be forced. And the way they will do that is by veiled threats and then very deliberate and direct ones, because they know where you are and they know where your children are at all times when you're not with them too. And it's just kind of shitty when you look back at it and you say, why did and why do they have these, what they call 5G millimeter wave debilitating, active denial system freaking radiation emitters by every first responder, meaning your fire departments, your police stations, and schools? Is that to make your kids healthier? Or is that to keep everybody honest in the Jewish way, meaning obedient? Would they potentially, I don't know, want to see your house burned to the ground and not and suppress and not allow firefighters to get to your location simply by, I don't know, incapacitating them? I don't know.
Actually doing. You can use the Conscious app to read more information about Flock and other
I'm going to just get this fucking Conscious app so I can shut him up.
companies building the surveillance state to see how ethical they really are. And join almost 400 people who have reacted about how they feel about Flock.
Okay. Enough of the commercial.
You believe in Christian supremacy? I don't. Actually, I want all people to come to Christ.
See, this is funny. When someone says, I want all people to come to Christ, and they are Christians, or they think that they are, what they mean is, I want everybody to, if I think this is the only way that people are saved from going to a place other than the good place, or they might have to stick around in limbo until they learn the error of their way or whatever. When he says, I want them all to come to Christ, it's not saying, I want you to reject your religion. I want you to, you know what I mean? It's not the same. It's not malicious. It's saying, I wish everybody would be able to join the same party. You like come to the same party, not like political. You know what I mean? Like everybody can show up and we can all live in peace type of thing. That's obvious. Now, the way Christians, a lot of them go about this, that's not how they mean it. They mean to tell you that you're going straight to hell if you don't believe what they believe. And that's the only way that they can keep on lying to themselves that they themselves actually believe it. Because if they actually believe it, then why do they have, what is their modus operandi? What is their drive to have to preach to others about how they're going to be damned? If they themselves don't fear something, if you know where you're going, what the fuck? Why do you care? Why are you putting pressure on other people to think or do anything? What does that do for you? The only people that told you have to go out and preach the word and blah, 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 all this shit are other people in your church. And if you don't know yourself, because you can't possibly, for sure, you could have it wrong. And trust me about Christianity, it's wrong. Being good is just the best part you could do. The whole, I have to cultishly say that this one guy is the only guy. and deny that basically overrides the need for a benevolent creator. If you already say, well, no, that's also a guy and the benevolent creator himself in the flesh. So where was the God he was talking to then when he was alive? If he's both things, why is he talking to anybody? You sure about that? Anyway. Oh, but they're all he's all things. He's whatever the argument is, it's whatever I say that makes it make sense somehow. Okay, sure. But I get where he's coming from. I would like all people to see the way, the right way, and hopefully that's the same way that I think, and that everybody's in, living the afterlife happily ever after together. This spun out of control, schizophrenic, sociopathic, paranoid, creepy Jew thinks that's a genocide, obviously.
You want all people to come to Christ. Yes. Even my Jewish
of course she's wearing a mask. Even my Jewish
family members, you want us to come to Christ.
Yes, I hope you see.
Now this guy's going to be wrong. Everything he says is for the most part wrong. Maybe the first 2 sentences out of his mouth are good, and then it's like, no, dude, you're fucked up too.
This is one of the big misconceptions about Jewish people, is when you tell them that you want them to come to Christ and get eternal life, they literally simply cannot understand this concept because they do not want you to become Jewish. It's almost impossible for a
That's not true. It's just it's impossible for that not to be a lie. It's easy if they think that you have power and influence for you to, and that's where they'll try to corral you into basically reneging or giving up on something of yours and siding with the dark side, only for them to then later reject you like they did with clavicular. So it's not hard to become one. It's hard to honestly, truly be accepted. So it's really easy for them to deceive you into that trap, get you to, and this is like they have less respect for you if you agree to it, and then they resent you after the fact. Does that make sense? Like if you're so devoted to this one thing, and then we line your pockets or incentivize you with this bullshit that we just print, or some networkings and connections and a way to get to the top and some power, but that we still control the power of, but you get to pretend that you have power and influence over others, and you just go, yeah, sure. They're going to look at you like, gotcha. And for a little bit, yeah, kind of, yeah, good, because why the fuck did you do that in the first place?
Gentile to become a Jew, and they really still don't even accept you into the religion. The only real way that you can become Jewish is being born Jewish.
What does that mean, though? Because it's not an ethnicity. Jew unto itself is not an ethnicity. It didn't just appear 2,000 years ago out of thin air, and all of a sudden, hey, look, they were there the whole time. No. There might be a high concentration of a certain type of ethnicity that happened to also cling to the Jewish faith or whatever, which isn't a faith, it's a fucking cult, which would in reality be the Saturn cult or the serpent cult, the moon cult, the cult of child sacrifice, and pharmakia, which is their 2 main things: black magic and ritual sacrifice, kind of all together, that's like rolled into one. And then pharmakia, which is drugs for them as well, and poisons, and then selling it to you with a little bit of media magic that it's actually healthcare, right? Yeah. The great deceivers. But it's not really like, okay, Sephardic, Turkish Ashkenazi, Khazarian obviously was a convert thing. So what are we actually talking about? Because They look somewhat Arabic sometimes. They look somewhat Greek sometimes. And they look, I don't know what else, Mediterranean a little bit often. Probably a little mixture of all that stuff. So it's not like we have a purebred here or his mother's a Jew. What does that mean? It means bullshit because everything about this bullshit, even their fucking language isn't old. It's not. Hebrew as a formed language hasn't been around any longer or any further back than the 1850s, I think it was. And prior to that, this idea that they're the original writings of the Torah and all this other bullshit was in Hebrew is a lie. First of all, they had this freaking tribal grunt language was 8,000 words at its max. You know how many words were in Greek? Like over 1 million. It's a pretty complex thing with thoughts that you can't even translate into English. You can't translate it into very many other languages. Greek is a freaking phenomenal language. And guess what? Their books were written in. And what do we talk about with Ptolemy? And what did they do with these tribes of assholes and rapists and murderers and child killers when he inherited them through conquest? He taught them how to read and write. And they started writing all their shit in Greek, backdating all their crap, gave themselves a false history, and yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. Trying to outdo the Greek originally, which would be like the pinnacle of mankind at the time. The top of the heap.
Your mother being Jewish.
Your
Judaism
mother
is an ethno-religion. You have to be from one of the 12.
But the thing is, if there is no ethnicity, because you can't call Judaism, it's like I'm 10% Catholic. Well, what is it? Is Jew a thing, or is it a religion? Or is it a cult? It's a cult. There's fellow travelers, which are not even Jewish. Whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. But ethnicities don't appear out of the ether 2,000 years ago. We don't have a begin date for black. We don't have a begin date for Latino or Latina or Latin, whatever. We don't have a begin date for Anglos and Saxons and Germanic people. They just were. They were just there. Peking man. They were there. And then all of a sudden, materializing out of thin air, came the Jews, who defined themselves as being not Christian, basically. Okay, well, how'd that happen? It was in response to Christianity? Is that what we're going with? Is that what we're pretending this time? So, what were they called before that? Sadducees, Pharisees, all this other, but Jesus, whatever the fuck it is, doesn't matter. They were a Saturn cult then. They're a Saturn cult now. They still wear the cubes, the Teflon. They still have Sabbath, Saturn's day. Everything that they do, right down to drinking the blood, consuming the flesh. This is all a Saturn and Set and Yahweh. All the same thing. The Demiurgos. So the cult followers of the Demiurgos, their demon, is what defines them. Another Jewish lie would be that it's an ethnicity in the sense that other things are ethnicities. There's a lot of variance in what they look like. When you look at Israelis, they look like Arabs and Greeks. When you look at some of the other ones that are coming from Europe and all that, what is that? How do you have so much a variance? A black person pretty much looks like a black person unless he mixed with something else along the way. They don't vary a lot. You don't see a bunch of round-eyed Chinese. It's like you get the point. So it's a lie to call them an ethnicity. It's a lie to call them a religion. it's more on the nose when you say it's a cult, because cults don't have a desire to make everybody hear the word of their, here's the good word, everybody. Come to this. This is your God. We found him. Don't worry. Come all. Just learn what he likes and then do that so that he likes you, and then that we like you too. That's what most religions are. They would prefer, like, Muslims try to convert sometimes with a freaking, saber in their hand if you say no. Christians same way. You had crusaders. So will you convert? Will you confess? Will you say yes? Jews don't want that because they're a supremacy cult. You have to be like, it's like being a 33rd degree Freemason. You have to be elected. It's an honorary degree. That's how Judaism works, right? You can be in the Shabbat, but you're still a goy. You can be this other thing, which just basically means you gave over your soul because you're worthless. You're still one of our little. You're one of the good goy, but we still treat you like you're a slave. And who are they to do that when they're the lowest of the people ever to walk the earth? If it wasn't for trickery, and I'm not trying to be. Look, this is just the way it is. If this wasn't the story and this wasn't their history, if this wasn't their nature, I wouldn't be talking about it just to say something like this. But it's the facts. They had zero accomplishments, and then they found themselves in an overwhelming, incredibly rich culture of the Greeks. And when they were taught to read and write, they had an envious, jealous, but nonetheless obsession with their ways, and they attempted to emulate them in a manner where they claimed that they were the originators, is progenitor the right word, of all the things that Greeks were. It's like, this is basically laying claim to all of the greatness of the Greek culture, laying claim that it was theirs, that they completely fabricated a Moses story, stole all the details of that. There was no freaking Solomon's temple. It's like, oh, we're going to build the third temple. Well, what about the first two? Because they don't exist. You guys dry hump Sophia to death over at a Wailing Wall that's in a Roman fucking citadel or something like that. It's not even, there's no temple, which is fitting because that's also where they built Christianity, out of whole cloth. And people hate when I talk like that, though. I'm not going to listen to them anymore. What is disclosure? This is what disclosure looks like. I'm not sure what that means, but what I was going to say is this is what it really feels like when you are truly, quote unquote, awakened to the dark mockery of and you kind of drift awake from this, not drift away, but drift awake to the spell. Where are we at? People are talking. Spy Hunter. What it is? Well, there's a lot of people talking tonight. Someone dropped a Hamilton, it looks like. Hold on, I'll come back over there in just a second. Let me just see this real quick. Come on, everybody wants to see people. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And if you haven't seen the 1973 Westworld with Yul Brynner, it's worth it an hour and a half. It's like I was doing work while I was listening / watching it. It was decent. It was good. I didn't ever watch the series, but the original movie, the plot, the theme, it was good. Future world, not as good. But I also like the themes that they were presenting because it's something that we're actually very possibly living through. What we call NPCs may have another, and this could be parasitic as well. These Hylics are among us. We know this for a fact.
They're making our food out of people. Next thing they'll be breeding us like cattle for food. You gotta tell them. You gotta tell them.
promise, Tiger. I promise. I'll tell the
Listen to me, Hatcher.
Tell everybody. Listen to me, Hatcher. You gotta tell them Silent Breed is people! We gotta stop them somehow!
His first mistake, he told a Groid to promise him something. And that's why everybody's been eaten already by now. Like, yeah, the reason why I say that, remember the movie Platoon? Remember that asshole? And then he blames the other guy for falling asleep. I think he blames, whoever the hell was it? Was that, God damn it. Who was in Platoon now? I can't even remember. Oh, God. Who was in Platoon? Yeah, it was Charlie Sheen. All right. The reason why I thought I thought I was wrong when I was thinking Charlie Sheen is because when he was what was that movie that he also like pretended he was Rambo for a scene, and he takes the chicken, he stretches it out. So I was like, wait, am I mixing this up right now? But yeah, Tom Berenger is pretty old. Johnny Depp, yeah, that's right, he wasn't there. But the black guy, he's not even on here. He's a nobody, probably. He falls asleep. They get ambushed. People die. And he blames the other guy for falling asleep on the watch. Because that's what... The other guy, he was making himself comfortable. He wasn't trying to be on watch. Because he ain't got time for all that. I thought this was interesting. A 48-year-old unemployed Irish woman wins $46 million jackpot and immediately decides to give it all back to her hometown of Strabane and its residents. I know what it's like to have nothing. That's why I'm giving it away. I can't miss what I never had. Okay, there's honor in that, but you have to also consider what is the character. What's the character of the people you're giving it to? Because it could just be fucking stupid to do that too. And you should keep something for yourself if you're an unemployed Irish woman. Margaret Laurie, life changed in November 2013 when she bought a Euro Millions ticket after visiting a job center. Why did she buy the ticket if she didn't want to better her? She just visited a job center because she's looking for a job. She wins $46 million or euros or whatever the fuck, and didn't say, "Oh, you know what? I'll keep 10. Then I can still live a modest life, but at least I don't have to. I don't have to worry and stress. Keep 5. Keep 5 of it." I wonder if she got fucked with the taxes, because like you gave it all away, and it's like, yeah, you still owe the taxes. I don't know. The 40-year-old from Strabane, forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, was unemployed and living on about €58 a week when she matched all 5 main numbers and both lucky stars, winning $26.86 million, roughly $44 to $46 million at the time. Yeah, so 26.86 million euros is 44, so it's double basically right now. €1 is like $2, a little bit less maybe. So yeah, because it would be 52 if it was double, but it's pretty close. While viral captions often suggest she might immediately While viral captions often suggest she immediately handed the jackpot to Strabane, the reality was more complex. Laurie supported family and friends, donated significant sums to charities, and invested in local projects aimed at creating jobs and bringing visitors to the area. She bought the historic Herdman's Mill near Sion, Jesus Christ, Mills, and explored plans to transform unused land into a craft village intended to generate local employment. That's cool. Reports indicate she planned to keep around, something, $1 million for herself, while directing much of the rest towards community benefit. Her later years are marked by difficulty as well as generosity. Lori spoke openly about the strain the win brought, saying at one point that the money had destroyed her life. Of course, she died in 2021 at the age of 56. That's very young. 8 years after her win. One lesser known contribution included an anonymous donation and a vehicle provided to New Horizons Partnership, which supports people with learning disabilities around Strabane. And somebody said that as an elite level human being. And people who want to be grabby say, imagine if more people were generous like this, the world would be a different place. Really, you know what would be an even better place? If we didn't have to worry about Jew fucking spell money in the first place. Then we wouldn't have to worry about this. Because just like having a savior come in at the end, and fix all, or mom and dad, when you've gotten yourself in trouble, or when you've not handled something, is the night before the test, and you haven't studied shit, and you haven't read anything, or it's 10 minutes before the test starts, it's on you. Your responsibility was to be responsible. And it's our job as guardians and stewards and protectors of the innocent for us to keep this place in order and clean and tidy. And if we don't do that, we shouldn't be, oh God, to quote Eamon Hillman here, oh God, you can't expect, a good parent wouldn't intervene on that. A good parent wouldn't intervene when you're getting surrounded and eaten alive by the parasitic entity that you won't stand up to, or any of its deceptive ways and methods. I don't give a shit how powerful they are. I don't care how easily they could just flick a switch and wipe you out. The whole point of what our existence and purpose is to do this one thing: protect the innocent and keep this place nice for future human beings to enjoy life better and better and better than the last generation. And if we can't do that, we don't deserve this place. We sure as hell shouldn't be talking about an afterlife, because why the fuck did we think we earned it? You don't get a house. You don't deserve a whole house when you can't even keep your room clean. Take care of stuff. We got to take care of stuff. So the same way, I don't know if it's a good idea to give to everybody, because we know what the common person is. They're opportunists. They're not grateful. It's not going to make them more grateful because you showed generosity. They're going to think that they're clever, or they're going to have this false sense that when the next time they've fucked themselves and they put themselves in a bind, that something else will bail them out. And they'll wait for it rather than then try to do something to fix or better their own situation. They won't be those type of people that constantly brainstorm to try to figure out a way to solve a problem. Men's minds do that. They do try to solve problems. The good people do. We're problem solvers by nature. That's what we're supposed to be. Figuring things out, tinkering with things, figuring out how to make things work again. How to solve a problem. That's why men and women don't get along so well, because women just like to vent their frustrations about having a problem. We think that means it needs a solution, and then we get yelled at when we make a suggestion or try to fix it for them. We get resented. No gratitude, no appreciation. Living with a woman's kind of sort of like living with a Jew. Sometimes. No appreciation. That's not all the time, but I'm just saying there's a lot of that going on. So I don't know. Would I give anything to other people? Sure, the people I care about, without expecting anything, including gratitude. And I would definitely make sure that. So in my hands, what I would do with it would be better for people. Yes. But most certainly for my family. You don't want it to corrupt other people either. You can't just give it to organizations because they are all run by corrupt pieces of shit. The nonprofit organizations are run by people who do the exact opposite. Think about this: a charity, their main goal is to not fix the problem. They're a nonprofit organization paying themselves huge, hefty salaries, or you know what I mean. And they have a lot of overhead. And the way that they can finagle the books, they don't even have to have 30% of what they take in going back out into charitable work. As long as the problem remains, they remain. There's a need for them. They're never going to try to create a situation where there's no more need for them, because they're making money off of this lie, this philanthropic lie that they're trying to better the world or fix a problem. So you can't give it to them because they're run by the demons, the little freaking happy merchants, most of them, or they're tied into them somehow, and they're doing their fucking evil work around the world, or in your country, or in your state, or in your town. So if you're going to win something like this, you build the first honest one of those things and know exactly, micromanage the fuck out of it, so that you know good is being done with it. And certain people, like if a person's deep into starvation, you give them too much food, it'll kill them. They have to have little at a time. There's actually a story about this with the Gothics. I want to say it was the Visigoths. They were in a battle with somebody. They recognized that their blockade had actually caused starvation in their towns, and when the surrender had occurred, they took pity on the people of the civilians or whatever, and they rationed food out to them slowly, because they knew if they let them have at it, they would kill them. They would have killed them. So they cared enough about the people that they were just in battle with, chopping off limbs and shit like that. They cared enough about the people because the fight was over. Move on, right? This is noble versus what happens with IDF, versus what happens with America, versus what happens when we go to war for these fucking demons. So if you give somebody who doesn't have their shit together, there's a reason why everybody made a bunch of choices. Now, if there's not a parasitic element ruining their lives and sucking out everything that they've worked for, kind of like my business, right? If there's not a wrench thrown into the fucking gears, and it's simply bad choices, well, those bad choices were their choices. They have to try to work themselves out of their own paper bag. You giving them a bunch of stuff might be destructive, could be homicidal to them. It could cause them to go overdose somewhere, or do something else stupid, or drive drunk and kill a kid. Certain minds shouldn't have the ability and the access to too much shit. There's a reason why nature did this thing, and that choices did this other thing. I don't know if you want to just throw money this way and that and say, I did something good because I didn't keep it. No, you probably should have kept it, because that way you could have known where every dollar was going and what it was doing. That's all I'm saying. That doesn't mean not be generous. It means pick wisely. Don't just say because this group announces or proclaims and what do you call it? They have made themselves the spokesman of some sort of cause. That doesn't mean that they're actually attempting to fix it. It doesn't mean that they're sincere or honest, but they know how to play on our emotions and our empathy and our compassion. They play us like a fiddle all the fucking time. And we just think, oh, do you want to, when you go to the register, do you want to donate to, there's starving kids who can't read. Well, what is this organization? Does me saying yes and giving you roundups, how do I know where that's going? How do I know who it's going to? I'm taking your word for it that it's going anywhere to fix that problem. And when I come back here next year during this time, and you're asking for the same people for the same amount of money, It's apparent that they failed last year. So why do I keep paying them? Because they didn't fix the problem. They didn't solve it.
With a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love coming to Costco with your wife? 0. How much do you love coming to Costco with your wife?
This woman's a bitch. Just to let you know. And then we're going to get back into the chat.
Can I say negative? So what's the number? 0. How much do you love coming to Costco with your wife? Without her, 10. 1 to 10, how much do you love coming to Costco with your wife? How about 0? Do you love coming to Costco with your wife?
Oh, 0. That's why I'm by myself. She's over there.
Why do you need women for? Why do you need your wives if you hate them?
You stupid cunt. Is that what you got out of that? They're there, aren't they?
Isn't it easier to just stay single or be gay?
Are you this fucking dense? They hate going to Costco with their wife, but they're still there because they love their wife. Is it that complicated? They're doing things that they don't like because they love their wife. They are doing it for them. But no, you just gotta be gay because you don't like that your wife is taking a long ass time to shop stuff. No, I don't like that my wife takes a long time to get what she wants when I can do it in a fraction of the time. But you know what? I'm still going to participate with my wife because I love her. You see how that tracks? Why do these people just want to create gender wars out of nothing?
With a scale of 1 to 10.
I don't know, we can leave Shaniqua alone for now. Let's go to here. We got that one. Whoa. I got a ringing in my ears. Hold on. You're right, just to mention. Let's see. Our subverted history opened up a better world for my mind, says Christopher Lee Stetler. That series was fresh. He was on episode 2 when I stumbled onto him. Oh, so you caught him when he was still making them. They were all done by the time I even knew who he was. You're right, just to mention on the Waddell stuff. I thought so. I'm a mod, but I'm not mogging. You know, we gotta change the. We have to get a hashtag popularized. We got to make it go viral. Every time you see a clavicular thing pop up, just hashtag mogging for change and repost it. If you're on Twitter, do that. Mogging for change, because apparently he doesn't even look like the same person anymore. He's I know he did the nose thing, but there's something else fucked up with his face. He doesn't look better. He looks worse. And I think he's going to spiral. And I can already tell you this also, that the Israelis have abandoned him, and probably so too did the rabbis and their magic spells. So the enchantment has worn off. At least for now. Peaks and valleys, you know? Just for Lee Stellar says, that would be funny. That was Irvat that first said that I'm a mod but not mogging. And then Christopher Lee Stetler said, that would be funny, me and my cane passing through Ocean Gently, possibly parting the Dark Sea. Irvat 88 says, I'm surprised that the NASA monkeys are willing to get back on the ship from the last time the OEV captains... The last time the OEV's captains had done. Right. That's funny. Well, the cruise didn't say anything about going to Africa. That's probably they're just going to the Caribbean to shit it up or something. Through Ben Shapiro, Christopher Lee Settler says, through Ben Shapiro is how I were led to all the Mayflower folk shot at Saturn, landed on Mars. Irvat 88 says, got you with the Daily Wire, eh? Edward Snowman. Hello. Even in Mississippi, it seems, says Spy Hunter. And then Christopher Lee Stetler says, town I grew up in, that dude would have been dragged outside for a lesson for disrespecting a father and his children. if necessary, right? Spy Hunter says, would have been a dirt nap where I live. Hell yeah, exactly. I can't believe that somebody else in the store didn't fucking yoke up that old man by his fucking throat and just carry him outside and drop him on his head in the pavement. Spy Hunter. Oh, you guys talk to each other. I'll move that one on. Everybody says, original Chuck E. Cheese mouse was well fed. The new mouse is on Ozempic. Yes. Yeah, he doesn't look cool anymore. Spy Hunter says, oh, you guys talk to each other again. We're all violent here. That sounds like it came out of the movie It. Everything floats down here. Down here, everything floats. Christopher Lee Settler says, I've been notified of that sector of the states. I'm keen. Okay? Gators, canes, and razorbacks are my best friends. For disposal? Yes. This sector, you mean the Confederate States of America? What about crawfish? You guys talk to each other again. You guys are even talking about food. Let's see. Spy Hunter says, it's interesting that Catholics think that they are born into Christianity, almost as though it is a race. Yeah. Christopher Lee Steller says, father had to buy a chest freezer for all the redfish I brought home. Fed 2 Catholic families also. Vietnamese crab boat tycoon, retired, loved me for giving her fresh carcasses. What? Best fish soup you could ever have. She were one of the boat people. Tough lady. It's a cult for the Jays, says Ervat. That's right. There's a Nigger Blasian goalkeeper for Team Japan in the World Cup. His mama is a dirty Jap. Much okay. Who cares? I'm just saying. What other people do is not my business. I don't give a shit. Would I do it? No. So the Japs won't put up with that for very long. I'm surprised, but I'm also not surprised because they're also bringing people into that country that aren't Japanese during Pride Month to have these demonstrations because the Japanese people find the whole thing unappealing. So you'll find a couple Japanese people involved, a bunch of Chinese, and a bunch of other fucking people, and it's all run by Jews. Who, by the way, if there's a military base anywhere near or in your country after a war, specifically 1 or 2, but also any other war, if there's an embassy or a military base that we control, Jews run your country. Doesn't matter. If you think you're on a leash, that leash will eventually get tight. Your neck will get jerked back. Christopher Lee Stetler says, Pharisees, Canaanites, has it always been the top and bottom? Or is it left and right? Keeps the world spinning. Great information rant, Dan. Thank you, Christopher Lee Stetler, and thank you for dropping Hamiltons like you're Aaron Burr. Erva talking to Spy Hunter. Yeah, Charlie Sheen, yep. With a capital C and a capital H. Look at that. Christopher Lee Stetler, 73 Westworld. Watched on beta, not VHS. Nice! One of the father's faves. I might have been 8. The black guy blames Chris, played by Charlie Sheen. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, because he fell asleep on the watch. Yeah, Johnny Depp was in there. Mm-hmm. He had kind of a small part. I preferred Hamburger Hill over Platoon. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if I saw that. I know of the movie 100%. I've known of that movie since I was a little kid, but I don't know if I've actually watched. I probably did because my stepfather used to be into all those movies. He took me to see Platoon, and I was like, when it was still in theaters. It's definitely not a traumatic experience at all. Oh, man. And even more so, Full Metal Jacket. Yeah, I thought that one was corny. FMJ. Yeah. By far the best Vietnam War movie ever made. Yeah, but there was too much theatrics, in my opinion. Like it was goofy. It was like corny goofy. Like the whole thing that it's like, oh, so what you're saying is like, I'm not saying you, I'm just saying like the people who wrote the movie. So what you're telling me is that it's typical to go through a basic training and have at least one guy go crazy and shoot people and then kill himself. Like, is that something that happens all the time, or are we supposed to just like, I don't know, just file that away under we wanted to traumatize you before the war started? Like it doesn't. Yeah, it's just whatever. I think some of the choices in that movie made it kind of corny. Okay. Yeah, Charlie Sheen was that. What's IKR? Christopher Lee Stellar says, just make my little corner healthier and greener while keeping all things sharp, sir. Yes, sir. Couple 2 3. Winning, yes. You gotta don't forget about Tiger's Blood. Irvat. And I'm not talking about the flavor for snow cones. He used to say that all the time. Tiger's Blood. And he was winning. He was winning. Like the whole time people think he was crazy. He was enjoying his time for sure. And he was also in a legal battle with some network executive assholes who were trying to screw him over. And he did win. So literally he was winning. Yeah. That's what he was talking about. Just because other people didn't understand what he was doing and what was happening. I just remember that the media was fucking him because the media is Jewish and, you know, he was fighting against executives, so he was fighting against the tribe. So they just sputted it to he's a nut job, you know, and overplayed that. Yeah, he leaned into it pretty heavy too. And he might have also, for all we know, I'm not saying this is true because I don't trust Corey Feldman any further than I can stick him on a impaling spike and stuck him in the ground. But yeah, he says that what was the name of the movie? That Charlie Sheen might have been a little touchy with Corey Haim. Well, fuck them. How about that? That's what Feldman says. Of course, he doesn't actually say it. He says everything roundabout in a bullshit way because Feldman's a retard. The charity's main goal is to launder money. Exactly. It's a front. Just like NFTs, just like any type of thing that, oh, it's worth a lot of money, is it? You know, even Pokemon shit. Like everything that Logan Paul has been involved in has been to popularize shit so Jews can move money around without it looking as suspicious as it is. That's it. That's all. Oh, you gave a guy $4 million for a Pokemon card. Well, that makes perfect sense. Because it's definitely not because you were buying weapons to go on, you know, a false flag tear through Upper Manhattan or something, right? Definitely wasn't that. You weren't funding that. So whatever. Irvat says, I just go to Costco for the 25-pound prime rib roast. Nice. We go there for, what did we get last time? They have big thing of chicken wings. Rebecca makes amazing chicken wings. Like seasons them, and then I got the hot sauce. So, I mean, it's match made in heaven. The feminist bullshit is what's causing marriages to fail. Yeah, that's a fact. But also, hasty decisions prior to, hasty decisions also are a good cause of marriage failing. And the financial issues are the leading cause of divorce, which kind of lends credence to. I mean, it does and it does. Depends on who you're talking about. Like if we're going to assume that we've already screened out all the ones that are selfish and materialistic, and we're not stupid, and we didn't pick those people, and they didn't magically, because they do this too. They'll flip a switch on themselves. Like when Here's another one. Oversexed, super like sexually active while you're dating, and then all of a sudden it just drops off. That's fucking evil. That's not what that was not in the brochure. Fuck all that. But the other thing is, if they were modest and kind and blah blah blah, then all of a sudden they become more materialistic afterward. After they've got they got the papers signed or whatever. That sucks. Because then it's like you're stuck with somebody who really only cares about. But it kind of also like is that not parallel with being a good hunter and the best warrior, the best protector, the best provider, it wins the woman. Now, if she's a lazy piece of shit and not attractive anymore, like I don't know why they would get more and more greedy, more and more demanding. It's like look at yourself, right? I don't know. I don't get into. I don't get too deep into that stuff because I just don't like. It's whatever. It's one of those things where it's like you can't force anybody to do anything. If they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it. So don't worry about cheating. Don't worry about their shitty behavior one way or the other. Just try not to be stuck in a situation where you can't get away from it, and also make sure that you're not blind to you being kind of an asshole yourself. And all in all, the things can work out, but there's just a lot of people that make bad decisions right from the get-go based on things that are very temporary, like looks without personality, looks without having a intellectual equal. And that's really bad. That's really, really bad. And you'll get bored yourself if somebody's super submissive but never has any of their own opinions about anything, and they don't have any of their own, like, hey, like when you say, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? That pisses me off. No, I asked you the question. Had girlfriends like that. It was just like, have a personality. Otherwise, I'm just dating something that's a meat, like a meat suit. Like, I don't need that. I have something that's attractive about yourself besides just your appearance. Like, your personality. You don't have one. You don't have any desires, likes, dislikes. Okay, well, that's kind of pathetic. You get that a lot in small towns. Edward Snowman says maybe the reason some societies are pro human trafficking is that to human traffic and to be human trafficked are the only professions they're honestly good at. Did I already like this? Yes, now I did. Edward Snowman, thank you for contributing to my daughter's gymnastics fund. Her birthday is July 2nd. It's going to be a good one. We used to have Farapalooza when I had the store because we could afford it. So we would just have like a week or a month long, just everything. Her whole life's actually just a celebration. She does so many things. She has so many activities going on all the time. But when she was little, we used to get like this rental giant water slides. It's like a bouncy house, and then you go up the stairs and then go down, slide the water into the water. That's when she was little. Traditionalist ways are the best at Irvat, 100%. Give me good-looking women with double D racks that know how to cook. Yeah, I'm already with you so far. Clean and ready to be baby makers. You said baby markers. I think you meant makers. I read it the way I thought it was meant. I'll be building. Oh, our number's back. Yeah, there you go, Irvat. Yeah, you're welcome. That's why. Charlie gets personal. Does Tiger Blood Charlie still exist? Oh, good times. Why is she here? Why is she here? What's she doing at the bottom? She kind of looks like Anton. Xena LeVay's. She kind of looks like Xena. What's her name? Xena? Whatever her name is. Yeah, let's see. Anton LaVey's daughter. Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, Xena. Her last name is Shrek now, but yeah. When she was younger, she looks an awful lot I think they even had pictures of them side by side. There you go. That's not the best comparison, but there's some pictures where they actually do look similar, quite similar. She looks like hell right there. She looks like she might as well be fucking Courtney Love. There's her creepy husband. You can kind of see it. Like, I think that one probably more so. I mean, that could definitely be her mom. That's all I'm saying. Shake it off. Shake it off. Aw. Does this mean that Taylor Swift is really Charlie Sheen? No, I'm trying to figure out why they're there together like that. The lucrative redhead tigress. Edward Snowman, the same that are good. Okay, you guys are talking to each other. Let's see. I saw 2 weeks ago on Siege the Day show. I'd love to have that GIF. Oh. All right, there we go. We're done with that one. Let's see if anybody's over here. Hey, there's people. Let's see. Yeah, the White Bean said, "Damn, the Crusaders are better." I don't remember what we were talking about. That was 40 minutes ago. Goyim Defense League says, "I'm sure the Jews used that money to import their their bioweapons." Yeah. Well, I mean, even highest, like all those things they get it. I don't know what their status is, but they definitely get money from you, even if you don't give it to charity. Alex Woods, we've been, generous enough for sure. Merci, thank you, gracias, nigris. Yeah, winning the lottery then giving it away is a good way to make your family hate you. Yes, this is a true statement. This is a true statement. It's a good way to get them off your back if you don't ever want to talk to them again, too. Right? Like, yeah, guys. So we're so close. We got 56 more to go, and then we'll hit the 300. Sorry, hit the 300 mark. So just phone a friend or something. I had a couple things over here, but we're gonna get into the reading here in a second. Let's take a look at this, because I said before we go pointing fingers at Canada, they put the flag there, I didn't. We best take a good look at our own respective countries. I don't see any signs of the spirit of mankind thriving anywhere. I hope it exists and will spread, but that takes a fearless effort of the people, and I don't see too much bravery. It says, this Canadian girl just said what millions are thinking but are too afraid to say aloud. Can somebody please tell me how we're still calling Canada a free country? And then there's this at the bottom. We'll do that at the bottom. Hold on. Start at the beginning.
Can somebody please?
I don't like the attitude. I don't like the... It just sounds like a bitch. Like, why does everybody have to want to do that? Why do you want to sound like a bitch? Are men that pathetic around you? Even at your age? Men that pathetic around you that they put up with that and you just learned to think that that was what they wanted to hear? Or do you know that it's irritating and you're banking on your looks to keep them from wanting to punch you in the face for talking with that snotty attitude? All I'm saying is once in a while you're going to come across a me and I'm going to call you a cunt. So there you go. Talk like a normal person. Don't talk down or at people, especially if you want them to listen.
Please tell me how we're still calling Canada a free country, because I don't see much freedom happening. If you think about it.
She's not smart. She doesn't have a deep thought, but she's going to wave her finger at you and she's going to shake her head a lot. The point is lost with the attitude, Kim Cranley.
We can't access certain news channels. We can't pray. If we don't fill out our census, we get a fine.
If you don't fill out your census here, you go to jail. So, whatever.
If somebody breaks into our house, we can't.
By the way, unless you're a Jew, the Jews are allowed to manage their own census, but then they tell you how small amount of a population they are. Like, really? Because I think there are way more than 2% of the population of the United States just in Curious Joel, with the 80 billion fucking children they have crammed in each house.
Kill them. We can't even hurt them. We can't carry guns. We can't protect ourselves. We don't get to make the rules for our kids anymore. The government makes those rules. So your children who have been on social media for the last 5 years, 6 years, they're no longer allowed on social media because the government says so, not because the parents do.
Well, that's a good thing. They shouldn't have been in there in the first place if they're younger.
We don't get to decide what we put in our body. We have to get our vaccines. Even brand new babies coming into this world need to get...
If you just roll over for that, then you're a bad parent. Passing the blame and responsibility onto somebody else for the system's bad. If you honestly thought that they were going to force inject your children, you would do what a parent needs to do and move away from the danger before you had the baby. And you think, oh, you wouldn't do that. Do you not know the story of what I did? My business was 18 minutes away from my house. I had very little labor costs because when I wasn't making the sauce, I could be there working the store. And then we had our daughter. And then we had that stupid fucking wellness check, 2 months old visit. And after we already had a birthing plan with notarization, all the things that we said no to, and they had to sign off on lawful, like legally, so they didn't do this stuff, and we made damn sure that they didn't. We went and got legal papers for this so that we made sure they didn't stray away from what we wanted. The same pediatrician that showed up at that hospital that day, it was where they sent us to his office. And he's like, well, you know what time it is? I'm like, I know what time it isn't. And if you know the horror stories that have come out of California and how they want to claim everybody's an unfit, whatever, I don't even want to say the words together. That's why I'm not saying them together. For not letting them poison your child, you're the unfit one. I didn't want to deal with that, not having family and any support, like a support group around us. So I went looking for a way to protect my daughter, and I found Arizona to be different. And within a couple months, we were the fuck out of there. And I drove 3 hours one way to work, to drop off sauce, to work an 11-hour shift, and then drive back home. And I would do that sometimes 2 and 3 times a week because certain employees were not responsible. And I know if I was there, the sales would be through the fucking roof because I knew how to fucking do it. And I actually did do it. They could have done it too, just as effectively, but you could tell that they didn't. I had some really good employees and I had some ones that weren't great. So if I wanted to, for me to say, if you think that they're actually going to do that and you can't prevent that, you think they're going to come to your house and steal your child if you don't let them vaccinate them, get the fuck out of that state, get the fuck out of that country. Yes, I did do it. So, wrong person to try to call a bluff on.
Vaccines, COVID vaccines that we all knew were a joke. We had to get those too.
Did you? You said they had to. I'm not understanding the had to part. For what purpose? I don't think you work. I think you're a stay-at-home wife. Or that looks like metal. It could be a manufactured home. And she's on the porch of the manufactured home. The way the roof looks. Or it could be, because that's what our camp looks like up in Brennan Beach, kind of like that. But it's all like sealed off and good because we have AC in there and stuff like that. Nah, kind of looks like a camper. I don't know if maybe she's on vacation. Maybe she's in a camper. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't have a husband. But it just maybe she does have to work. I don't know. She has time to do this. And all I'm saying is, I understand if you thought you're going to lose your job, but with life job, find another thing to do. Maybe you'll find something you actually enjoy, right? I don't know a lot of people who love their job and also were pressured to take poison and pretty certainly die young in order to continue to do this wonderful thing that you love so much. I don't know a whole lot of people who had that situation. People who are school teachers and firefighters. I don't know about firefighters, but like police officers and military and all that. They have the bigger problem because of all the time that they invest in it, and then the loss of the pension if they say no, all that crap. But there's still a choice.
So, why are we still calling Canada a free country?
She didn't mention anything about maids. She didn't mention anything about them. They can declare you unstable, and then they can decide that you can be exterminated. I think they tried to lobotomize that other kid. I don't know if they succeeded or not, because he was being a good journalist or whatever and talking about the corruption of the country, and they pulled him over and they declared him on the side of the road to be, without any type of examination, to be, mentally ill. Mentally ill. Does this not sound like Bolshevik Soviet tactics? Well, guess who actually runs your place? Literal Bolshevik Soviet. Well, at least Bolsheviks.
Doesn't seem very free to me.
Jews. Yeah, she's an idiot. But she introduced the topic. I thought there was more. You can't access certain news channels without the government or platforms getting in the way. Okay. We can't even pray in peace without someone trying to shut it down. Are you talking about COVID? I'm pretty sure if you're a Muslim and you throw a mat down and pray toward Mecca, I guarantee you none of the Royal Canadian kilted yaxmen out there will bother them. They could probably even cook a cat on the side of the road. It's about you being white that they don't like. Don't fill out the census. I'm pretty sure we go to jail for that, unless you're a Jew, remember? Because they're the ones that run the place. Someone breaks into your house, you can't defend yourself properly. You can't even hurt them without risking jail. Yeah, that's kind of the same everywhere. Right. Because, yes. No, she's right. But I've been saying this too. Yeah, Canada's got its own fucking problems. It's called Jews. We have the same problem. They have the Royal Crown, so they have the Bank of England hovering over their territory. We have the Federal Reserve, but it's all connected to the same shit. It's all the same demonic cult of banking. So let's see. We can't own guns to protect our families. That's not 100% true. They banned a lot of them. You can't resell any of them anymore. But those who have them, I'm pretty sure you can maintain them. It all depends. I guess it all depends. I don't think Stefan would have gotten rid of or let go of his. So I'll have to ask him. The government now decides what your kids can see on social media, not you. Well, that's depending on what that means. Hey, look, Germany won. So they beat the Ivory Coast. Nice. All right. I think that's the end of it. Yeah, right? It's got to be the end of it. Germany won. Okay. If that's, it depends on who, like, are they going to dump a bunch of gender grooming shit into what your feed is? And how old are the children you're talking about? Because most of them probably shouldn't be on it. And that was the point that she actually made, is that they were on it for years and now they can't be at all. That sounds like a bad mom when I hear her say it like that. It's like you're exposing your children to like flicker rate. It's like all that shit. I tell my daughter this all the time and she's cognizant of it. She doesn't, and it's like, being aware of it and understanding the manipulation, and I talked with her about this, is the only reason why and because I didn't introduce it, first of all, that was the other thing. I was away working, going back and forth all the time, and then I find that she's, doing this stuff. I'm like, fucking shit. Like, why is she on that? Why is she on that? Anyway, follow the what do you call it? My thing over here on Twitter, and I don't call it the other name because X is Saturn cult shit, and Grok is Saturn itself. So no. And Grok is actually was it Mars? Yeah, I think it was Mars. Something about Mars. Josh Glidden talked about it. You can grok it is like a way of like comprehension or something. Anyway, and we don't even get to decide what goes into our own bodies yet, or our babies. That's if you surrender that right. You have to concede to all these things. No, you don't have to do any of that stuff. You can just do what you're going to do anyway. Fuck the consequences. This is a slave mind mentality. They don't even let us play after dark. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like a child. I'm not allowed to go out after 10. That's just, if you want to go after 10, go. Do it. Why are you letting somebody else tell you what you can do and what you can't do? This isn't freedom. This is managed population. No, it's a corporatocracy, and they hate your ethnic European background. Year after year, the liberals chipped away at it. Oh my God, here we go. Here comes the deep thought by Jack Handy. I'm good. Oh, shut the fuck up. This is what I'm talking about. What are you fucking talking about? These people are fucking scumbags, man. IDF soldiers burning an American flag. Oh, this is not real. It's AI generated with Sora. Shut the fuck up. Like, this is a repost, you fucking stupid niggers. Who are these fucking readers? Jews? Is that what we're told? No, it's not fucking helpful. Go fuck yourself. That's what, yeah, there you go. Other. Suck it up. Should this note be shown? No. You should shove it up your ass. Fucking retard. I don't want to be a computing notes contributor. I'm not a fucking hall monitor. And if I repost something, don't fucking come yelling at me about it. You fucking asshole. Oh, they murder babies constantly, fry them and do all kinds of horrific shit. Shoot them in the head, mangle them, blow them up. Oh my God. I didn't put it past them that they could fucking burn a fucking American flag because they don't like the fact that we're trying to tell them not to fucking continue the war with Iran or whatever the fuck the case may be. Oh, it was AI generated. Who fucking cares? They're fucking demons. What point are you fucking making? Shut the fuck up. God, I fucking hate people. I hate people. If it's even people. Like, that's the thing. Do we even know? Haters can LDAR nose maxed. What the fuck is this? Shut up, you fucking faggot. I don't even know what that means. I like English. What are you speaking, you fucking faggot? Anyway. We were going to read something, weren't we? Did I still have it up here? Yes. Oh, I guess talking to you. Oh, John Wilkes built through the eights in here. Let's see. Woman in the shoe. Oh, I think I remember you. Yeah, this is the country we joined military forces with. Fuck the IDF. Exactly. And it's the fact that some faggot has to be like, that's AI generated. Whether that's true or not, it doesn't matter. They're fucking demonic baby killers. Do you want me to go through the list for the last 5,000 years of the fucking shit that they've done? Poisoning all of Europe? Yeah. Go right ahead and start your shit with... Basically, that's implying that it couldn't possibly be true that they would ever burn an American flag. These motherfuckers would do it in your face, and then they would gaslight you about it and call you an anti-Semite. Don't give me your fucking shit. I don't care. It's like all the links and all the gay shit that the person wrote underneath the comment. It's a repost. I didn't originate it. I'm not spreading fucking whatever. Fuck those people, man. Who are the howlmongers? Probably Jews. Probably Jews and probably getting paid to do it. So here it comes. Bless my soul. He doesn't have a soul. This is what the fuck? Ravage over here. Ravishing Rude. Marcus Eli Ravage or whatever the hell his stupid gay name is. And it's called A Real Case Against the Jews and Commissary to the Gentiles. It's very short. Bless my soul, I do not blame anybody for disliking anybody. The thing that intrigues me about this anti-Jewish business, what a fucking faggot, is as you play at it, you make such fantastic and transparent excuses. You seem to be suffering from self-consciousness so horribly that if the performance were not so grotesque, it would be irritating. It is not as if you were amateurs. You have been at it for over 15 centuries. What? What? Yet watching you hearing your childish pretexts, one might, yet watching you hear and hearing your, okay, and I didn't catch that. And yet watching you and hearing your childish pretexts, one might get the impression that you did not know yourselves what it is all about. You resent us, but you cannot clearly say why. We're superior to you, and you're poisoning us, and you're deceiving people, and you're using the spell of money and actual fucking magic and witchcraft and all kinds of bullshit. And once you had once the world believed in your fucking money, it was game over. It was game over because that's the only thing you could hold over somebody who's superior to you in every way. So yeah, we don't resent you because you're clever or better. We don't resent you, period. You're inferior and you're evil and you're wicked and disgusting. And that's why we are irritated by you. Because it doesn't make sense that you should have all the levers of power in your hands, save the fucking fact that people believe in your money spell. The money spell is all bullshit. And if people ever wake up to it, you will have zero power like that. Just like fucking that. You can still push your armies around and all this other shit, but eventually we're going to get you. That is, of course, unless they lock us in with this digital death trap that they're forming around us as we speak. Then we won't even be able to blink our eyes without something putting a bead on our head. And that's it. That's the way it's going to go. You resent us, but cannot clearly say why. Oh, I can say why. I think I just did. Child killers, rapists, ritual sacrifice, the spell of money, impoverishing, false scarcity, pollution. Did I mention poisoning? Lies, deception. What else is irritating? Abuse of welfare, sending bioweapons. There's so many things. Why would I not be able to say this, Jew? You think up a new excuse, a reason is what you call it. This is dated every other day. This is, I guess, must have been in a time where people were afraid to say something. It's been a good time for people to be very, very blunt with the Jews was before Judaism declared war on Germany. They should have been very harsh on them in New York and thrown the people into the fucking Hudson River. Every one of them. Every fucking one of them. Go swim. You have been piling up justification for yourself these many hundreds of years. They're acting like we're the ones on the run and that they're the superior. This is funny how they did this is mind war shit where you're trying to follow the train of thought and you're trying to fit the premise and, suspend disbelief. They are talking about themselves in projection. They are not able to manifest. They're not able to create. They're not able to build anything. They manipulate other people to build the world that they want. And whenever we build anything for ourselves and then they come along, they destroy it because they hate us. And that's all their job is to do, is to follow us around everywhere we go in the world and dismantle, poison, and kill, destroy, turn to rubble everything that we build for the people, for mankind. We better people's lives, they ruin people's lives. We make people want to procreate in a safe, healthy environment. They try to exterminate everybody that they can. There's a demiurge. There has to be. Otherwise, there's no point in them for existing, because all they do is try to limit and reset us constantly. That is what they do. They are the Langoliers. You have been piling up justification for hundreds of years. Each new invention is more laughable than the last, and each new excuse contradicts and annihilates the last. This is not a problem for me. Not so many years ago, I used to hear that we were money grubbers and commercial materialists. Now the complaint is being whispered around that no art and no profession is safe against Jewish invasion. Well, again, you turned art into trash by praising garbage, which was another thing that you claimed and proclaimed you would do. Make the art ugly, right? If somebody with Jewish money, which is fake fucking confetti, and that way you can have a lot of it, buy something that's a horrible freaking piece of shit, this starts a trend with the other retards and a lot of them are your fellow travelers, and then they go buy up all this trash, and that's a trend, and it pushes away the classical arts. That's what you do. You're pieces of shit. Every which way you erode and you pervert and you downgrade society, ethics, morals, values, life, period. You turn it into a sewer. And you shit on your own floors. Just ask Patton. We are, if you are to be believed, at once clannish and exclusive. Yes, that is accurate. And assimilable. Unassimilable. You will not assimilate because we won't intermarry with you. That's my dude. Have you seen Jewish? I'm asking this dead guy here. Have you seen Jewish women? Do you think that's bothering us that much? Give me a fucking break. Yeah, sorry. Lord Illumina won't suck my cock. It's probably a dude, by the way. Yeah. I don't need a jigsaw. I want to play a game. No thanks. I'm good. No games, especially none with KY. Won't intermarry with you, and it's because you won't just fucking leave people alone and just carry on with your life. Every accommodation has been given to you in multiple countries, and it's never enough. It's never enough. You fucked up Greece, you fucked up Rome, you fucked up Persia, you fucked up everything. You're pieces of shit, and enough is enough. And we are also climbers and pushers and a menace to your racial integrity. They're a menace to our racial integrity, all right. Our standard of living is so low that we create your slums and sweat industries, and so high that we crowd you out of your best residential sections. Well, yeah, that's because of the fucking spell of money you guys do not create. You manipulate that which is already created, and you're the middleman, you're the merchant, you're the scumbag. Plain and simple. Pirates, scumbags. That's all of it. That's a lot of it. We shirk our patriotic duty. There is you don't have any patriotism in wartime because we are pacifists by nature and tradition, and we are arch plotters of universal wars. Yeah, for that other people fight, you fag, and chief beneficiaries of those wars. See protocols of learned elders of Zion. It's funny you should mention that. We are at once the founders and leading adherents of capitalism. No, you're not. And the chief perpetrators of the rebellion against capitalism. you're communist, but communism is dependent upon capitalism. But what you actually created was a corporatocracy, calling it capitalism. It's fine if you actually are conducting capitalism without the corporatism and without the Jew fucking rigging the game. Surely history has nothing like us for versatility. And I almost forgot the reasons of reasons. We are the stiff-necked people who never accepted Christianity, and we are the criminal people who crucified its founder. Yeah, I don't give a shit about any of that. It's all a bunch of fucking bullshit. I just hate you because you're a demonic piece of shit that fucks everybody's life up and makes it lower than it could be. Have you seen what life was like for a few years without your fucking pestilence and bullshit in Germany? Do you see what it was like before you fucked up Libya? See what it's like prior to all that? Which I would imagine is what we're looking at when we're seeing all this amazing architecture in old America. And then along came the louse. Then along came the fucking boll weevil. Along came the fucking parasite. Your loose contradictory charges against us are not... So your schizophrenia of playing both sides, you're criticizing for us to have, because we have opposing views. No, you play both sides. So it makes sense that both would have validation depending on what situation we're referring to. I can't even read this shit. Charges against us are not a patch on the blackness of our proved historic offense. You accuse us of stirring up revolutions in Moscow with our money, in fact. Suppose we admit the charge. What of it? Compared with what Paul, the Jew of Tarsus, accomplished in Rome, the Russian upheaval's a mere street brawl. What a scumbag. 16 million dead Russians. I'm not going to call them Christian Russians. I hate when people do that. It's like, okay, why does it matter more because they're Christian? They're innocent lives that had nothing to do with they weren't preventing anybody from having anything. They were living their fucking lives, and then they weren't. You make much noise and fury about the undue Jewish influence in your theaters and movie places. You mean your full control of the media? Yeah, very good. Granted, your complaint is well founded, but what is it? But what is that compared to our staggering influence in your churches? Aha! Aha! He didn't say synagogues, kids. I can just leave now. There you go. Your schools, your laws, and your governments, and the very thoughts you think every day. A clumsy Russian forges a set of papers and publishes them in a book called the Protocols of Little Elders of Zion, which shows that we plotted to bring on the late World War. You believe that book. You followed it to a T, regardless if it was I don't give a fuck who wrote it. I don't care if it was a work of fiction. You're doing exactly that thing, and you still are. So fuck off. All right, for the sake of argument, we will underwrite every word of it. It is genuine and authentic. But what is that besides the unquestionable historical conspiracy which we have carried out, which we never have denied because you never had the courage to charge us with it, and of which the full record is extant for anybody to read? If you really are serious when you talk of Jewish plots, may I not direct your attention to one worth talking about? What use is it wasting words on the alleged control of your public opinion by Jewish financiers, newspaper owners, and movie magnates when when you might as well just... Jesus Christ, I'm having a hard time tonight. When you might as well justly accuse us of the proved control of your whole civilization by the Jewish Gospels. You have not begun to appreciate the real depth of our guilt. We are intruders. We are disturbers. We are subverters. No, we know all that. I got that. I'm not sure why other people don't get that. I'm glad you're telling them. Well, when was this? 1920 something or other? We have taken your natural world. And then there's Jews that come out and say that this isn't real. He's talking about how the protocols aren't real, but we do exactly that thing. He just said that, and now somebody's coming out and saying, "No, this guy, this isn't even a real thing." Shut up! Shut the fuck up! You have not begun to appreciate the real depth of our guilt. I said that already. We are subverters. Yes, we know, and you're insurgents. We have taken your natural world, your ideals. Right? They took the natural world and supplied us with an artificial one, with an artificial instrument of debt that they call money to limit us. You can't have things unless you have this thing that the Jews gave out. Kind of a bad situation to be in, right? No, seriously, that's the very simple, the water, the boiled down simplicity of it. You can't have things anywhere because they've touched every fucking thing. You can't have things unless you have something that the Jews dish out. They dole it out, or they don't. And if they have an abundance of it, they can always outbid you anyway. And without this stuff, you can't live, you can't eat. Pretty clever, Jew. Especially when you don't have to work at all to get what you have. Because your top Jew dogs on the top of the fucking mountain are the ones who can print it at will and are worth $500 trillion allegedly, whatever the fuck that even means, because it's all bullshit. Now, the amount of gold that you've stolen from us, I mean, you used it to fund a Bolshevik revolution. If you don't think America had already changed by then, why did America give home to? And this wasn't happening away from the watchful eye of governmental bodies. This was already a corporatocracy. It was incorporated in 1871 to the Jews, to the banks, to the Rothschild families and partners, and European, all foreign interests operating our country by proxy through actors that they call politicians. Ever since, same as it ever was. And now, doesn't matter. There would have been no Bolshevik Revolution. There would have been no World War I or II if they didn't already control America before that. If the outcome of the Civil War was different, there probably would never have been a World War I. There probably never would have been a central bank. At least not then. Not the way the Civil War was or the outcome of it being a banking war to kill a bunch of Americans on both sides was what led to all these other things in successive order, because then there was no longer any resistance. Because they already had the people. They already had the president. They already had the whole game. They had enough infiltrators already in here. They didn't all have to be Jewish. They just had to work for them. Fellow travelers, Kabbalists, what do you think? Every Freemason post after 1780 is a luring Kabbalist, whether they know it or not. You have taken your natural world, your ideals, your destiny, and played havoc with them. We have been at the bottom of not merely the latest Great War, but of nearly all your wars, not only of the Russian, but of nearly every other major revolution in your history. We have brought discord and confusion and frustration into your personal and public life. We are still doing it. No one can tell how long we shall go on doing it until someone stops playing the fucking game. Germany did. They said this is a mark and this is what it's worth and this is what its value is backed by. And people were pleasantly going about their life without any gold in reserve, and they're doing just fine. Look back a little and see what has happened. 1900 years ago, you were an innocent, carefree pagan. Don't fucking call us pagans, you cocksucking faggot. You worshipped countless gods. No, we didn't. See, this is all bullshit. He's saying that he's going to say that they brought monotheism. And we were carefree, and They were, if you want to call anything pagan, they're the ones killing children in the grove. They're the one killing children underneath a cliff rock. You know, they're the ones doing the dark magic rituals. We were monotheistic 5,000 fucking years ago. 5,000 years ago. Just because they venerated the heroes and maybe over time deification because of their admiration for these heroes and these stories that were well traveled, histories, they thought you know, this is a very Christian mindset that he's actually using. Pagan, polytheist. Really? Because that's not where it began. And if we did go that direction, it's funny that they would say that because their moon cult of that time would have been the influence that would have brought it there. Their priestcraft would have been the ones who molded our pure fucking monotheism to that in the first fucking place. Everybody has to read the British Edda. If you don't, you don't get a lot of this because you're more susceptible to the lies if you don't know where the beginning is. And that's why even Ammon Hillman gets things wrong because he follows the Greek, he studies the Greek, but he thinks just because the Greek is saying this, that it's Greek people saying it. And I'm saying, no, these are the people that Ptolemy fucking taught. And they're the ones writing this bullshit Torah. And they're the ones writing the bullshit New Testament. Where the original one is talking about Alastes, a child trafficking pirate, child molester. So either that's a true story about a person, and then the Nicene Council decided to polish him up and use him as a savior. The greatest dark mockery of the Saturn cult they could possibly come up with. Or, because we know how these fuckers are, there was a decent guy, but Jews hating everything that's good, that shows promise, wrote in Greek at the time a horrible story about the guy. That could also be true. Maybe there isn't an actual honest account of that guy's life, and we'll never know because they throw him over here. He's the House of David. Same time they're saying that he's doing these things with children, and all the Greek is saying all horrible, fucked up, weird shit about this guy with drugs and Christing and manipulating little children and all the stuff that they're talking about with the apostles and all that crap. They were young, and it was a weird thing. So that is the original. The original text is in Greek. There was no ancient Hebrew original fucking Torah. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. It was written in between 300 and 220-ish BC in the Hellenistic period in Greece, but utilizing as a reference for their histories that they made up out of whole cloth, including everybody that's in the fucking book out of whole cloth, all of the Alexandria Library with all of our histories. And then they just took them all and inverted a lot of their characteristics, applied their own personality to people, made them into shit fucks, and then told you a story. And because they're so depraved, because they have no compass when it comes to any type of comprehension, and they have such an indifference to right and wrong that they don't know how to write a character that would be appealing to anybody. As you can tell by everybody in the Old Testament being a piece of fucking shit with with massive character flaws and perverse, wicked fucking acts that they've done. It's possible that they wanted Jesus to be their superhero, but when it got sanitized by the church, they didn't like him anymore because all those things that the Christ that they wrote about is perfectly fine and acceptable in their cult. Perfectly fine and acceptable. It's what they do. They do harm children. They do drug children. They do fuck children. They do eat them. That is what they do. So to have a character that personifies all of their characteristics, they probably were initially in the Greek, the Dionysus. They were probably writing a hero for themselves. And they're like, whoa, this is fucked. This is more like a Lucifer. That's not accurate. Maybe we should clean this up a little bit. And they're like, well, and then out pops Christianity and Nicene Council. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. But again, the way he's taking us down this line with this whole pagan thing, it's absolute retardation. You worship countless gods and goddesses, the spirits of the air, the running streams of the woodland. You took unblushing pride. This is all Snorri Sturluson bullshit too. You took unblushing pride in the glory of your naked bodies. You carved images of your gods and of the tantalizing human figure. Now he's mocking Rome and Greece. You delighted in the combats of the field, the arena, and the battleground. War and slavery were fixed institutions in your systems. With your presence there, who were the merchants in the transactions of the slaves? Jew. Disporting yourselves on the hillsides and in the valleys of the great outdoors, you took to speculating on the wonder and mystery of life and laid the foundations of natural science and philosophy. Again, talking about Greece. Yours was a noble, sensual culture, unirked by the prickings of the social conscience or by any sentimental questioning about human equality. What are you saying? Oh, the great Greeks who are doing all these things. It's like, but what about how the Groids feel about it? It's like, what are you talking about? We're building a fucking amazing kingdom here. Everybody's enjoying what we're building. Why do we gotta personally like walk over to them and say, is everybody having a good time? It's like, oh, no, get out. Fuck off. Seriously, like if you're building a massive civilization where everybody's benefiting from the innovation of it and all the amazing things that you're doing, you don't go around and say, hey, that's what you do when you want to start placing doubt in people's heads and making them feel like they're different. They were Greek if they were whatever, right? No. Not to the Jew who's the most racist piece of shit on the fucking planet. He's got to make everybody remember their differences. The devil, right? But we did not leave you alone. We took you in hand and pulled down the beautiful and generous structure you had reared and changed the whole course of your history. We conquered you as no empire of yours ever subjugated Africa or Asia. We did it all without bullets, without blood or turmoil. Bullshit, you had other people fight your battles without force of any kind. We did it solely by the irresistible might of our spirit, with ideas, with propaganda. No, with a fucking spell of money, you lying cocksuckers. We made you the willing and unconscious bearers of our mission to the whole world. Well, now he's talking directly about America. To the barbarous races of the world, to the countless unborn generations. Without fully understanding what we were doing to you, you became the agents at large of our racial tradition, carrying our gospel to unexplored ends of the earth. Our tribal customs have become, this is basically an open admission that they've created both religions, and nobody's going to accept that, but it's true. Rome, Jews, both together. Oh, look, Christianity. Same thing with Islam, by the way. Our tribal customs, the Abrahamic death cults, everybody needs to extract their fucking brains from them, leave them on the doorstep, and get the fuck out of here. That's all you need to do with those. They don't need to be part of your life. There's benevolent creator, and then a bunch of bullshit that Jews created. Benevolent creator, untouched. Can't be touched. Benevolent creator's right there. Nothing's changed. Nothing's corrupted him. All this bullshit that you have to, navigate and jump through fucking hoops and fence. That's all the bullshit to keep you busy. It's all the bullshit to keep you busy. You don't have to, what an only true savior. No, because then you forget that you are the fucking solution to this problem. If you're waiting for some other, if you're going to be all, no, you wouldn't bow to a child molester. And if that's the case of what he is, then you wouldn't want to do that. We don't bow to someone who isn't here to help you. Especially when God made it very clear. Well, some of the messages that were allegedly said by this guy, Jesus, made it very clear that we're all equal in this battle. He was a plot device to remind you of who you are, and to point out who the enemy is. Okay, so we know what we are, we know what our duty is, we know what our responsibility is, and we know we better get fucking doing it. Otherwise, the drawbridge is closing. They're not going to give. We're not going anywhere. We're not going to be able to get anywhere. Literally and physically. I mean, literally and metaphorically and physically. True. There'll be no getting close to them, and that is they're ultimately weasels and pussies and cowards, and they know that if we ever all in a large enough number know and knew what they have planned to do to us, and all I have to say is look at the Bolshevik Revolution. Do you know what the hell happened to those Russians? It's going to be exponentially worse here, and it's going to happen maybe within a year, maybe less, maybe more. I don't know, but it's happening fucking soon. Nobody's growing into old age here. Don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about growing into old age. You don't have to worry about cancer. Smoke away. Because we're all going to be fucking dead if we don't get the fucking shit together really soon. Enjoy your time. Enjoy every moment of it, because it could very well be your last. Our tribal customs have become the core of your moral code. Our tribal laws have furnished tribal. It's not their core of your moral code. Hey, this is again them stealing. Their tribal customs are the fact that they're tribal in nature themselves has nothing to do with anything about core morality. They have no morals. They have their 10 commandments were not theirs. They were repeated long enough. Moses didn't even fucking exist. This is all rewritten bullshit. Hammurabi was a Gothic Aryan. And only maniacal pieces of shit like this cluster, this tribal cluster, which, by the way, they hated each other too. This is why the code had to be passed down. This is why they had to lie to their own people to tell them that this thing had happened, because they were such pieces of shit that they would, like piranhas, eat each other. So they had to think about how morally depraved somebody has to be, so that you have to write down something that should be obvious. Thou shalt not kill. How much of a fucking maniac is this person that isn't something that's obvious? Oh, people don't like when you kill. Oh, we're not allowed to do that to each other. Yeah, that. Oh, and then law of the stranger means we're just talking about between us, right? Anybody else you don't know ain't one of us. Those commandments don't apply. And they're like, oh, okay, gotcha. So we can't rob each other either? No. What about the whole user thing? Them, yes. Double on them. But just not each other. We got to kind of like stick together here. Oh, okay. Can we fuck her wife? No, well, yeah. You can do that as long as everybody's okay with it. It's called Frankism. It'll happen way later. What the fuck? How about our kids? Talmud, yeah, you can do that too. Drinking blood? Yeah, that's all fine. But that's their the moral code, but that they don't follow. Our tribal laws have furnished the basic groundwork of all your august constitutions and legal systems. Our legends and our folk tales are the sacred lore. No, they're not. Which you croon to your infants. They're taking credit for things that they don't do because they've never created shit. They co-opt shit and then they claim that it's theirs. They have never done anything except lie, gaslight, deceive, and rob, and full on plagiarize. That's all. They've been writing scripts ever since they were taught to read and write by Ptolemy. They've been writing scripts. They've been doing mind war. They've been writing scripts. That's it. They take everything that other people do, rewrite it just enough, and then they play it like it's a movie, but they call it history. They call it history. Our poets their poets have filled your hymnals and your prayer books. No. Our national history has become an indispensable part of the learning of your pastors and priests and scholars. Well, that's unfortunately true, but it's a false history. Our kings, you never had kings. You never had statesmen, and your fake prophets. You don't have warriors are your heroes. No, they're not. This might be true to some people, but this is all made up. This is all smoke and mirrors. Even when they try to write a David character, like, hey, you know what's be a great idea? Let's show how much of a piece of shit we are by having a guy show up to a fist fight with a gun. And then everybody praises him for being so clever that he killed the guy. It's like, you ever seen a slingshot? You know what it fucking does? That's not a noble battle. That's a piece of shit. That's a fucking Weasley cocksucker. Our ancient little country is your holy land. It's not your ancient little country either, by the way. But more of that for you. Our national literature is your holy Bible. You don't have a language. Use the Greek. What our people thought and taught has become inextricable, woven into your very speech and tradition until no one among you can be called educated who is not familiar with our racial heritage. That's what they would love us to believe. This is what this whole reading this is called mind war. They're saying things as if they are so that you believe that. So because you're reading it and you're engaging it with it. So unless you're pushing back like I am in every fucking word, this is what mind war does to you. It makes you feel like you're overwhelmed and that you've already lost. That things are so because somebody said they were so, which is again bullshit. Jewish artisans and Jewish fishermen are your teachers and your saints. Well, the fact that they're your saints and they're the people that were in the founders of the church, that part's accurate. With countless statues carved in their image and innumerable cathedrals raised to their memories, a Jewish maiden is your ideal of motherhood and womanhood. Oh, again, they're trying to say that Mary. Again, it's all fake stories. And if we're talking about Adam and Eve, that ain't true. That's Thor and fucking Guinevere, by the way. And that we learned about the real history of the real people has nothing to do with anything heavenly or not at all. It's very terrestrial, very rational, reasonable events that occurred 5,000 years ago when we first encountered these pieces of shit when they were still the serpent cult. And just as now, terrorizing the fucking villagers like they do with Gaza. They were hunting people down, stealing their children, stealing their food, starving them to death. There were people living in caves and underground and all these tunnels. You see Darren Kuyu, all places like that to stay away from these pieces of shit because all they would do is terrorize them. People learned to live underground because of it. And then we came along, saw all the abuse and mistreatment and the injustice, and we finally said enough is enough, and we fucked them up. We killed their sorceress. We killed their patriarch, Woden. Woden is not the same thing as Odin. And we killed the son, Balder, also known as, wait for it, Loki or Abel. Abel's a piece of shit. He should have died. Okay? But when you hear it from their perspective, because they're the ones telling the story, it's different, isn't it? When they tell their Genesis, They weave out all that stuff. Our Norse ancestor Thor, Ad Tur, T-U-R or D-U-R. He was from the Dan tribe. Dan. He was from the Dan tribe. Dardanos, you'll hear about in Homer. Dardanelles. Not Gargamel. Dardanelles. The Danube. He settled in Troy. Had spinsters there. Was living in Karchemish and a place called Himin on a mountain. Himin. Himin in Hittite means heaven. You want to know where the cult of child killers was living? The ones that were into pharmakeia and using adders, which means snakes, venom in their drugs and their poisons. They were living in a place in Karchemish between two rivers. It was a lowland. And the people there lived also and did a lot of their wicked shit in these cavern type caves, but they would call that area the Valhall or Hell. Heaven, Himin, Hell, both places on earth. Oh, heaven is a place. Yeah, it is. Actually, is. It's called Cappadocia. So stop looking for where you're going to go after you die, and there's this heaven and hell. Just fuck off. It's all very terrestrial. Now, do these people play with black magic? Sure. Do they have an actual demon that they contact and talk to? Probably, most certainly. Does it give them powers? I don't know how that actually works, but it seems to be working for them pretty well. As far as us, we were the introducers of monotheism. We were the introducers of marriage and a family life. These people were having ritual orgies, passing themselves, each other, their children all around, just like they do now. In the more extreme cults of the Judaism, they do that still. And they were doing all kinds of blood rituals and all kinds of other sick shit too, and being drugged out of their minds on this burning purple, where Guinevere, Gwen-Ifr, I-F-R, G-U, or Gun, G-U-N-N, Ifr, I-F-R, turns into Guinevere in the other stories, right? That's Eve. She was an Amazonian. She was also a Gothic Aryan. She was a Goth anyway. Aryan is a noble class that's bred to be that, right? She was a Vestal of the Amazonians. She left and deserted the fucking serpent cult. So it was a serpent wolf cult. Serpent cult is just totems because of what they, adders. They're known by the snakes because they use snake venom and all their stuff. They were considered the serpent cult. And they would have different stuff that they adorned themselves with that would represent the snakes. The Amazonian Gun-Ifr said, "Fuck you people. You're sick in the head." And the sorceress even said, "Yeah, that's actually your tribe is actually those people." And she went off and married Thor. She was baptized because that's what we also introduced into the sun religion of Thor. Ad-Tur, Arthur, Thor. Okay? He had many names, and one of them was Odin. He was Ode of the Inn. The inn was the place on top of him and the where they would live. Like a citadel you could think of or something. They went into the battle. This is all in the British Edda. This is actually written pre-Sumerian times. Pre-Sumerian. Because this is the thing that led up to the founding of the Sumer. Not at all Semitic. It was Gothic Aryan. And the reason why they say the serpent tempted Eve, blah blah blah, because she was one of their Vestals, and she didn't bring the apple to add Thor, Adam, whatever you want to call fucking Thor, to fuck him up and get kicked out of heaven. It's all bullshit. This is from their perspective. Wrong. She went and married him, and then they had continuous problems with this fucking demonic cult fucking with people and them, and going off to Troy and destroying their terrorizing his spinsters. That they finally had it, and they killed the 3 top dogs there, and they let everybody else who was able to be rehabilitated to join their kingdom. And most of the people that were not of that cult were liberated and extremely grateful. And he actually did call them dwarves because our ancestors were quite tall. So they actually called them dwarves. Some of them, not all of them. And then the point here is there was no original sin. There was no fall of man. None of this shit happened. We fucked up a bad group of people, and they turned it into, because it happened to them, that was the most horrific thing that people could ever do, because it goes against their gods. Their gods is what they call it. They didn't have a concept of a creation story. They didn't have a concept of God. They had a concept of their demonology and the shit that they were conjuring. But they were starving people. So our people being agriculturalists went against their God, because we taught people how to be independent. That was going against their God, this fucking Saturn cult, moon cult, fucking serpent cult. It's all the same shit. There was no original sin. There's no need for a Jesus to appear in the first place. It's a plot device. If he was a thing, that's great. If he wasn't, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We were descendants of the warriors who fucked up this tribe before, and we can do it again. But we better fucking do it soon, is all I'm saying. We have pulled down your idols, cast aside your racial inheritance, and substituted for them our God. And our God, which means what? The demiurge. The demiurgos of the Greeks. And our traditions. No conquest in history can ever remotely compare with this clean sweep of our conquest over you. Are we taking this shit from this guy? Are we taking this shit from this little scrawny weasel fuck? How did we do it? Almost by accident. Nearly 2,000 years ago, in a far-off Palestine, our religion had fallen into decay and materialism. Money changers were in possession of the temple. Degenerate, selfish priests grew fat. Then a young patriot idealist arose and went about the land calling for a revival of the faith. Well, that's not how the Greek goes. He was a degenerate fucking pirate, a child trafficker, and really into this whole drug concoction thing that they called the Burning Purple. He had no thought of setting up a new church. Like all the prophets before him, his only aim was to purify and revitalize the old creed. He attacked the priests and drove the money changers from the temple. This brought him into conflict with the established order and its supporting pillars. The Roman authorities, who were in occupation of the country, fearing his revolutionary agitation as a political effort to oust them, arrested him, tried him, and condemned him to death. That's not how that went either. By crucifixion, a common form of execution at the time. They completely absolve themselves of being the fucking antagonizers there, right? The naggers. Nag. No, hang him with the other fucking lace days. The other child traffickers. The other pirates. The followers of Jesus of Nazareth, mainly slaves and poor workmen, in their bereavement and disappointment, turned away from the world and formed themselves into a brotherhood of pacifists, non-resistors. Oh, geez, how convenient that is for the Romans. Pacifist or any other controller, including the Jews. By the way, going back to the British Edda, do you want to know another name for those Edenites that I was talking about, the serpent cult? Rome's. What was Romulus and Remus suckled by? A wolf. It was the serpent wolf cult. Is that trying to tell you something about their origin? Anyway. Brotherhood of pacifists and non-resistors sharing their memory of their crucified leader and living together communalistically. Communistically. What they're trying to do here is draw you right back into the deception. They were merely a new sect in Judea without power or consequence, neither the first nor the last. Only after the destruction of Jerusalem by the Romans did the new creed come into prominence. Then a patriotic Jew named Paul. Of course, he was a patriotic Jew named Paul. Paul was a piece of shit. Or Saul conceived the idea of humbling the Roman power by destroying the morale of its soldiery with doctrines of love and non-resistance preached by the little sect of Jewish Christians. He became the apostle to the Gentiles, who hitherto had been one of the most active persecutors of the band. And so well did Paul do his work that within 4 centuries, the great empire which had subjugated Palestine along with half of the world was a heap of ruins. So that was a good thing that Rome fell. Rome just wanted order. That's all that they wanted. Christians were pieces of shit fucking maniacs. So were the Jews. They weren't fucking saints. But you gotta kind of look. I would love for somebody to go from Rome's perspective here, just once. There's a radical, fucking psychotic fucking Christians over here that were just, or whatever the hell, and then there's these fucking Jews that won't stop fucking rebelling. That's assuming that that's even true, because I think a lot of the upper echelon of Rome at a certain point in time was interlaced with these like the Sanhedrin had too much power. Let's just put it that way. Why did they have so much power? Why did they have so much influence in Rome if there wasn't something going on? They shared the same, like Saturnalia, Saturn cult was part of the Rome. What does that tell you? Same cloth cut from, maybe? I don't know. This was the beginning of our dominance in your world, but it was only the beginning. Oh, fuck off. From this time forth, your history is little more than a struggle for mastery between your old, it's pagan spirit. Fuck your nigger ass, dude. Fuck your nigger ass until it turns purple. What is this? I hate the whole, it's pagan. You sound like a Christian, calling everything pagan, you cocksucker. How much more of this fucking garbage do I have? I'm calling it here. We'll finish it later. He's just gonna fucking talk shit for the rest of the time anyway. So, money changes, blah blah blah. Only after destruction, Jerusalem by Rome. This is the beginning of dominance. Blah 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 blah. All right, here it is right here. That's what I'll call it. I'm gonna go listen to the Asha Logos and get on the elliptical. It's already near midnight here. Let's see what else everybody else is doing here. Oh, high fives. Oh slash from the heart to the heaven. Bless my soul is equal, bless your heart, which is the ultimate southern insult, says Spy Hunter. People do fucking suck. I absolutely agree. Thank you. I saw and picked up a meme of Charlie Tiger Blood. I'm sorry, I did not know it was a sucky bus below. That's funny. Edward Snowman says, it is said, possession is 9/10 of the law. Seems excessive to me, but I don't think even 90% possession is enough for the serpents. This is true. This is very true. High five on the chest. I find it very funny too that like everything that they do these days, 2/3 will make it pass. Well, you mean 66.6%? 2/3? Well, that's an interesting number to come by. It's not even a passing grade, really, but it's good enough for a government, right? To pass bills to change people's lives forever and fuck them over. Why not like a 90%? It's a little bit harder to get everybody to, to fuck everybody and threaten them enough to all agree on one thing, unless they're all stooges, and they probably all are. But like, why wouldn't you want to shoot for like a better agreed upon topic before you move forward changing shit? Like 66% is shitty. But it's numerical. Like, 2/3 vote. 2/3. We say 2/3 to pass. 2/3. Everything's 2/3. Or sometimes you'll catch the 1/3 coming out a lot too, which is 33.3. I like this is good. This is a good one. N-word Snowman says, "Oh, I didn't know pacifism included orchestrating universal wars." Exactly. That's my favorite one so far. War is the pacifism, right? If someone else, exactly, if someone else is waging it, it's because other people just aren't getting on board, or they simply exist because their God says, kill them all, kill their cattle. I don't care if you're fucking hungry, just kill everything in that town. And if you find, I don't know, some kids that look tasty, tell me this isn't the same mindset of Alastes, which they also said Jesus was one of. I think they honestly were trying to write themselves a hero. Themselves, the Jews. And then it got sanitized by the council. Instead of just making a whole other dude up. And they're like, no, we're going to keep this guy here, but we're going to get rid of all his really bad qualities, and we're gonna play the best joke ever on these fucking Christians, and the Jews are like, sounds good, you know what I mean? That's how it seems like the history went. It's that gay, yeah. Oy vey, just another Shoah goy, just another Shoah. Christopher Lee Stetler says this: the ones that raped the hymen, funny. Some downright mean sadistic sexuality. Fucking A. It says Irvat says history repeats itself, so know your history. Exactly. And it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be cyclical. The reason why a lot of this stuff repeats itself is because people get to a peak of civilization, and then they let the parasite destroy it, and then around and around we go. How about we stop it from happening so we can get off the hamster wheel? How about we put an end to the fucking parasite once and for all? Parasite cleanse. Detox. Mother said the Danube was quite beautiful when she visited the old country a handful of times, says Christopher Lee Stetler. That's cool. It's no wonder Valhalla sounds even worse than 40 Virgins, says Edward Snowman. It's not the Garden of Heaven. It comes from hell. Danube, Hungary, Ervat says. Danube River in Serbia, says Ervat. Territory, is what I was referring to. Danes are still one of the tallest ethnicities. That's very interesting, isn't it? True, Danes and not the nuns. Not the nuns. Dan, don't forget the fall of Rome. What do you want me to talk about there? You talk about like the poisoning and the lead in the cask. Oh, that tastes better. Some Jew was like, your wine's gonna taste better if you put some lead in it. Oh, okay, thank you. I'm so angry right now. I can't understand why. It's lead poisoning. You're probably gonna kill your own kids. Yeah. Maybe you should just not drink anymore. What's this Jewish bastard's name that wrote all that brain caustic juice? Yeah, really, exactly. His name is, I'll tell you in a second. I think it's Marcus is the first name. For Marcus Eli Ravage. Like, yeah, just like it sounds. Like savage, but with an R. I have it up here. Oh, this guy. Which means the true law is still common law, and entire communities have to stand with people who defend themselves. Heck, it should be a community activity to make their territories safer together. Because this guy says, arm the law-abiding citizens of France. And then it says, if violent crime is to be curbed, it is only the intended victim who can do it. The felon does not fear the police, and he fears neither the judicial system, he says judge, nor jury. Therefore, what he must be taught to fear is his victim. That will deter the crime. Fuck with me, you're going to get the bullet. That's why Jews like to disarm people, but only one side. They're sick fucking demonic pieces of shit. What do you need guns for? They're trying to convince you as they have invaders coming in here and they're like, here's one for you, here's one for you. Go kill something that's brightly colored, like white. Go ahead. Rape it too. It says, you're not being tolerant. You're not being inclusive. You're not being open-minded. You're being conquered. And I said, loose lips aren't the only thing that sink ships, right? You know where I'm going with this. Follow my damn... Oh, yeah, okay, that's what it is. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's my boy right there. Deportations take too long. Hear me out. Yep. All right, I got to get down to where was Ravages? Jesus Christ. Where did it go? I think it's coming up next. There it is. Yeah, it's Marcus Eli Ravage, Jewish author. Because like they run the media. They can publish whoever they want, and then they think it's some fucking accomplishment to be like, I'm a published author. It's like that's like saying I've got money. You print the fucking shit. Whoa, good boy. Here's a cookie. This particular thing was written in 1928. This statement, but this is actually out of that book. This is literally what we read out of it, and we'll finish it up. It's only like 2 more pages, but I'm just my brain needs a rest from this crap. They're devils. Here's an investment of Bolshevik bucks, each worth a certain quantity of serpents or snakes, from each according to his abilities. Serpent or L. Baby burning, $2. I always see the kid on the bicycle from Better Off Dead. $2. Ah, he goes off the cliff. Edward Snowman, thank you for the $2 donation. And then Christopher Lee Stetler says at least 75%, at least 75. Let's see, right? 3 out of 4 have to eat the entire plate. I'm going to play some FIFA as Croatia and beat up on Israel 10-0. Nice. What game? What is it FIFA for like PlayStation? One day I think it'll be fucking awesome if you read your book on stream. Okay. Hail White Colonel Devil Dog. Okay, so I've got to do. Oh, look at that! All reliables over here now. All right. Let's see. Yep. Religious exemption. Yeah, this is country we joined military. So fuck the IDF. That's right. Said Sick Mick. Larry Jumer. Yeah, right. What are we doing here? Are you one of these? Okay, you already are one. Good. Smith Munn said far left women brag about killing their kids. Yeah. I've seen some. If you guys watch Charlie Penguin Zero, there was a very disturbing thing that happened in LA where they shot a fucking dog. Not cool. British edit by L.A. Waddell said all reliable. Nice. Let me see. Might have to open that up myself. Open. There's no open reading mode. Not reading mode. You fucking here. Just give me this. Not that. I want to see if there's any differences between what I have and what this is. I got mine from archive.org. There's a couple of different ones out there. Some of them are like in parts. Some of them are full. I'll look at that later. It's probably the same thing, I'm sure. Yeah, it looks like it is. 452 pages exactly. Yep, I got it. But everybody else should pick that up if you haven't. Reese Guns 1488 said very interesting. Reliable. Heck yeah. Except I'm not that skinny. Why would anyone want to shoot a dog? That's wrong. Yes, it is. I still believe abortion is worse. Yes, it's not good either way. It's just like horrible shit that I never want to have to deal with, right? And I would never want to see happen. And here's the list, right? It was a police officer who shot the dog, and because he was a fucking pussy. That's basically what the whole story is there. But it was not fun to watch. What am I doing? Did I never open one of these up? Let me see if there's people here. Shit. Doesn't look like it. Cool, I didn't miss anything. Let me take a look over here. No, okay, so we had Ham Radio, great show. True Crime Vaults are good. Jews made China communist. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. All right, so I did have a couple there. We got to those. Oh, wow, I have somebody over on YouTube, really? I thought they shut that down. Well, it's Perciphalopagus channel, so I got to look at that. There you go. Nobody's ever going to be able to know how to spell that, so. Nobody's written anything because I was seeing it there. So this has been where it's been going all this time, but there's nobody ever seeing them. Probably because the name is hard to spell. Probably because they also definitely don't share my stuff, and because I don't bother putting shorts up here, and they already hate me, and I'm already blacklisted. So I find it to be a waste of time to try to do anything over here. So those are all those reasons. But if you have a preference, you want to watch this on YouTube, I'm always streaming over here too. It's called Brosifilophagus. Like Brosif, like what's up, Brosif? And then Mr. Snuffleupagus. So that's Mr. Snuffleupagus. He's Brosifilophagus because Brosif is what you say to people. Bro at the gym. You get it? You get it? Because he's big? Yeah? All right. Leave me alone. My thought process of creativity doesn't always make sense, but it makes sense to me. That's all that matters. Okay. I was going to play that, but that's 1 minute and 14 seconds I can't afford right now. Go get your 90 essential nutrients, you sons of bitches. Okay. Yes, sir. PS5. Cool. I actually had a couple in here that I pulled up. I found interesting. Where did they go? Jesus Christ. So it says, this is for Norway. Norway shipped over 2,000 pounds of their own food for World Cup to avoid American diet. They weren't leaving performance to chance. 300 kilograms of Atlantic salmon and fish, 116 kilograms of Norwegian brown cheese, 6,000 oranges, 3 Norwegian chefs. The lead chef, Aaron Espeland, has cooked for the national team for 35 years. He flew in with the brand new kitchen equipment and juicers shipped from Norway. Why go this far? Norway follows European food law stricter than the U.S. They restrict the ingredients on reasonable doubt, not after proof of harm. Nice. Too bad they're still run by Jews and getting fucking ambushed by a bunch of demonic fucking groids. Why is that happening? And their star takes it even further. Erling Haaland, which is this guy right here, treats his body like a science project, morning sunlight and red light panels. The red light's not this waste of time. Organ meat, grass-fed steak, 6,000 calories a day. He must be a big boy, or he's just running a lot because he's a soccer player. That makes sense too. Mouth tape, blue light glasses, bed by 10:30, ice bath into sauna 4 to 5 times a week, filters his own water. That's good. There you go. Shaves his own eyebrows too, I guess. Let's see. The Iraqi player couldn't believe his eyes when he saw Haaland. See? Everybody gets along in soccer. Unless, dude, Italy didn't even make it this year. They didn't make it last time either. Which is weird because the 1 year that I watched them, when fucking Zig Ziglar or whatever fuck his stupid name was, Zidane from the from French team who fucking headbutted the guy. Like yeah. Anyway, I forgot the dude's name. This is a cool little thing too. Something to make you smile. Ronaldo, I mean, he's like super cool to his fans. Anyway, if you're not already doing this, see what I'm pressing right? See what I'm circling around? It's called Christos Cast. See my finger waving? You see this? It says follow. All right. I'm just, because it already says follow. I know that's not how you do that to follow. I'm just saying you should. I don't know why. I don't have any reasons for why I say things. But it's only 41. So we want 41,000. So we're almost there. We only need 2 zeros. 3 zeros. We only need 3 zeros. And if you're not, thanks for the downvote. You suck penises. You know you do. You suck. Let's see. So this is where you want to go right after the show. You want to go to semperfryllc.com. You want to click that, or you can go right to this one. But you should go to this one and use code BDayGirl. BDayGirl. And don't use Food Star because that's only 6%. Use the BDayGirl, get your 10% off. Okay, scroll down. Get the hot sauce. Get the creatine. Creatine's going back up. After the sale's over, of course. but you're gonna get $3.59 off of that price. That's the cheapest 100 fucking serving creatine hydrochloride you're gonna find like anywhere. So do that, and I'm probably gonna come out with another sauce, a very limited run, some honey garlic, cool shit. You're gonna love it. But it's going to be a limited run, and it's going to be one time. You're never going to see or hear from it again. But I'm only going to make it sick. It's going to be, I don't know. I don't want to say too much right now. But it's going to be a very limited run, and people will love it. I'm not going to ever make it again after that. So, all these, dude, I just had the venom on a steak burrito yesterday. My friends, one of my daughter's friends from her gymnastics, her parents, have a thing at the Friday Night Munchies. They have like a taco truck, and I usually get a quesadilla from them. But I got the horchata for my daughter, and she didn't want a quesadilla this night. So I went and got a burrito. I was like, screw it, I'm gonna try a burrito. I'm gonna get a steak burrito, and it was good. I usually don't like beans in a burrito, but it was okay. It was good. It was $10. So I complained about a $9 burrito the other time, and I might actually go back to that place because that was actually pretty good. That was pretty good. But anyway, I had the venom on it. I had some of the green sauce and the venom on my burrito yesterday. It was so freaking good because my hot sauce made it that much better too. And their green sauce is really good. I don't like the red one. I like the green sauce. It's really good. And shit. See this guy? That's that guy. That's that guy right there. Anyway, you should get some of this stuff. Unless you live in a different country. I don't want to be like, oh wow, cool. I got like $150 order and like $75 of it goes to shipping. I'm like, oh yeah, that wasn't that big of an order anymore. Anyway. Good night and shit. What do we have? What do we have? Do we want to end off on something? Like, do we want to have like a
All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Let's not drag this out. We don't enjoy one another that much.
There you go. That's better. And oh yeah, one last time. This is just a public service announcement. Take this with you, and tell a friend.
Think white and get serious.
There we go. There we go. And on that note, my friends,
I'm here to help. If my help's not appreciated, lots of luck, gentlemen.
good night. And thank you for everything, guys.